hang on. Please, everyone,
Why
please,
is
let's
not the
speak.
mandatory?
Listen. I'm going to say it again. I did notes and I heard every voice, and for over an hour and 15 minutes, my mic was open. I didn't say a damn word, but because of Sarah, I want Sarah to answer this question first, and then I'm going based on the professor. And remember, just a few seconds ago, he said, well, I'm not going to take your title, sir. But the professor gave more truth than Joe Gibson and John Song. And I'm going to prove it under the matriarch. And now, based on what we see going down at the moment.
What's the question?
Listen, what we see going down at the moment. Because y'all talk about Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine of the past, but I'm going to ask
Is it thinking?
Sarah.
Is it thinking?
Sarah,
Yes.
what is the reason?
Down.
What is the reason why
I see we're live on Google now. And what
Sarah,
we're getting is the
Sarah,
total independence of the matriarch of
Sarah,
me.
Sarah,
I can't be here.
you are the only woman that speaks and has the authority, and I don't recognize no man that has ever spoke. Now, that's the matriarch. That's number one. So my question is, why did you, as a co-producer, because someone who's a Führer, a dictator, a tyrant, is the producer of whatever he say is the law. But I'm saying this to you. Why are you here, and what is this network here for?
Why am I here and what is this method for?
This network. This Zoom network. Why did you put this together, Sarah? And no man can utter a damn word, including me. That's the question that's there.
To bring people together so we can talk, so we can learn, to educate ourselves, to find a better way for us to deal with what we got, the tyrants that we got in our lives, so that we can unite. Because we need to wake up. People need to. We live in an ignorant society.
Okay, Sarah, I want to go to the revolutionary revelation, the final conclusion. Why did you put this network together? Is it to destroy the system in which we have and establish the system that we must have?
I brought it together for people to be able to talk and figure out what other people think.
Okay. Other people.
So
Okay.
Go out in the world and educate other people of what is going on, so that people aren't so ignorant about the.
Okay. Okay.
You know, we were making headway for a while.
You're not going to answer the whole question because
we were actually.
No, we're totally gone on. Now we're back into.
Listen, I'm a black man, African. And
yeah,
there's
we're not going to pull that. Nobody's black, white here. We're not going to play that game. Come on now.
What I'm pointing out is I don't want to leave, but I'm getting raped in my head.
I'm what I'm saying to you. I'm what I'm saying to you. That every man, Sarah,
I'm white, I'm black, I deserve this.
I did not start a riot, Sarah. I did not interrupt none of these
the vagina
so-called gentlemen from Joe Gibson to John Song. I did not interrupt them. Sarah, I did not interrupt them. I did not jump in. I did not start a riot. Am I correct?
You're right. You didn't interrupt anybody. Now finish your question, please.
Okay, here's my answer. I want everyone to look at it right now. 2020, January 7th. Okay. Iran has killed over 100 American soldiers. And I know that none of you can discuss that, but I'm here on behalf of China and Russia. Now, none of the founding fathers would ever think that because Barack Obama and Donald Trump is attacking the Arab Islamic world, but when you didn't realize when America attacked Iran on January 2nd after your holidays, when they're going to be holidays, because I'm telling you something, 100 American soldiers have been killed. And Iran will not strike in the United States of America, but there's been American soldiers in Kenya been killed in this war on terrorism. Now, what am I saying? Russia, China has joined joint exercises with who? Not Muammar Gaddafi, not Osama bin Laden, not Saddam Hussein, but with who? Iran. What do you think that means after Iran has killed over 100 American soldiers And I know John and Joe Gibson.
So what do you mean? What's your point? I don't understand what your point is.
The point is that checkmate, slam, dunk, touchdown. Understand the times we live in today. And if you understand the times we live in today, the founding fathers of the Eagle, Confederate flag, Joe Gibson, and red, white, and blue, the Eagle is getting his wings clipped because you don't have a military that'll defeat jointly Iran, Russia, and China. That's first and foremost. That's first and foremost.
So you support Iran, Russia, and China. Good.
No. The topic on the whole planet Earth. The topic on the whole planet Earth. The topic on the. Listen, I ain't interrupt none of you no good bastards. Y'all are sons and daughters. Y'all are sons of the Messiah.
What about Ethiopia? Ethiopia's got the greatest empire.
And John, shut your goddamn mouth. Let me tell you this. Shut your goddamn mouth, because y'all got selective amnesia. Do you think that your Constitution, your sovereignty and dignity and independence mean more than Iran, North Korea, Cuba, Venezuela, Russia, and China? Do you think that your Constitution, where you go as a Confederate flag eagle, black, brown, or white, as you go as a red, white, and blue, black, brown, and white, do you think that you go
I can't worry about the Ethiopian flag?
I'm not going to listen to no usual suspects.
What about our
these no good bastards? Why are these no good bastards interfering with me when I listen to them for over an hour and 15 minutes? That's Joe Gibson and John Song. Now,
I'm sorry that they got problems over there,
and
but we got bigger problems.
You are a usual suspect under Joe Gibson. I heard you, but I want only the professor, because the professor was right. And the whole conversation changed when Joe Gibson and John Song came. And here's what the matriarch is here. And professor, here's what my answer and question to you, because you know, because you're under natural law. You're under holistic healing for the mind, body, and soul.
We love you, Malachi. We love you, brother.
I'll talk to you on Joe Gibson's show. This is my time now. I listen to all your minions and usual suspects for over an hour and 15 minutes. God damn it. Why do y'all usual suspects keep interrupting us? Joe,
we love you.
I love you, brother, because you speak your mind. That's why I love you.
Look, the founding fathers only have a limited vision of history because it's not based on the creator. It's only based on the creation of the United States of America, which is less than 300 years old. Those documents are null and void because the United States Constitution says that no nation or no army can trespass on your sovereignty, integrity, and dignity and independence. Isn't it extraordinary that every black, brown, red, yellow, and white, old, young, gay, state alike of America can see that the eagle is trespassing on the Constitution of all the nations that existed before the founding fathers.
I don't forget
Saudi Arabia. I don't. Listen, Sarah.
Don't forget Saudi Arabia.
Our country's already blown up our Constitution, let alone other countries.
Listen. Y'all are interrupting with the affairs of the matriarch. This is to the professor. The professor has never heard my voice.
Can you ask the question, please?
Professor. But isn't it extraordinary that natural law, live and let live in one love, is from the creator? The creator do not live under the Constitution in the United States of America or the Confederate flag. The creator covers everyone on the planet. And natural law is the supreme law of the planet Earth. Secondly, international law. If you don't honor the contract, the treaties of other nations, there's 205 nations, if you don't understand their sovereignty, integrity, dignity, independence, that's international law. And that's why Russia, China, and Iran gonna kick your ass. And now, first we go to common law in the United States of America.
Wait.
Y'all find out
they better bring their goddamn best shit. If Iran's gonna kick our ass, they better bring their goddamn best shit. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
Iran's not going to do nothing. All right. What's your question, Mandela Khan? What's your point?
Encourage more.
Okay, no.
Stop encouraging more of that, please.
Okay.
He
Can
can
I
answer
go
his
back to the
question.
professor for a minute, please? Please, people.
I've been trying to
I
get in
thought
here
we were
for a
talking
while.
about the United States of America.
I've been trying to get in here for a
About
minute,
the
so please.
Constitution there in the beginning.
This
I
is
was
our
asking
last
questions.
I
statement,
have been
Professor.
trying to speak.
Professor,
Oh,
they
my
won't let me
Lord.
and you get in,
Break. I'll
and then
take a break. I'll get back
You
to
know,
you.
he answered my question in the chat room to me, by the way, y'all. He answered.
Professor, they won't let me and you talk. Professor,
Somebody tell me how to do that
Your
Zoom
comment, and
chat
they're not
room.
going to let
How
it
do
come
I
out
do that?
verbally on this
Professor,
platform,
they
no
won't
matter
let
Oh,
me
my
and you
Lord.
interact.
No matter what
Please.
happens, they're not going to let it come out verbally. Okay?
The
Because they are
devil's children are insane.
Professor, they
Hey,
won't let
can
me
I
and
say
you
something?
interact.
Hey guys,
I cannot. Are y'all on the
Come on, guys. Come on, please.
Zoom,
Guys,
Zoom will not let me use my landline phone to call in on that, guys.
Sorry.
I'm on my cell phone because Zoom will not let me use my landline. What? Because they knew who I am? I don't know. Why I can't? Somebody tell me why I can't use my landline.
You should be able to use your landline. You've asked the question now. I don't know why, but you should be able to. Go ahead, Professor. You're on the floor. I've just kicked everybody out, you guys.
I was just going to make the comment that, you know, it's this is what I've been fighting over on the Threepers page is
This shit.
we're all on the same fucking team. We're all on the, we all want to correct the course that we're on, but we can't stop talking over each other, and we can't stop fighting. We can't stop bickering over the tiny fucking details.
Amen.
Absolutely.
And
Hey,
it's not
I
about
can testify
the details.
to the 3% shit.
Mark.
Yes.
Please, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, like I say, we're going to have to switch to a government of volunteerism and stop taking these damn people that are perpetuating career moves. As soon as government becomes a career move, it's gone. It's right there. We have to take the money proposition out of government. We have to give government more power for common people. We have to have common people in there making a hell of a lot less money doing the job because it's a righteous thing for them to do. But the money's not in it. Then we have to shut down these damn school systems because that's the way the government took our kids and got us fucked up now. There's just so many things. We have to volunteer together and run all of these damn capitalists out of the nation. They've got to go. If they can't compete, we got our country back. And it's better than a system being a little hungry than having people breaking your doors down and taking your kids and shit. So there's that fine line. We have to just start volunteering and working together and get all these capitalists out because they're the ones that starting the wars over some shit that they don't own.
Correct.
Along those lines, this is one of the things that Curtis and I have been discussing as to how to fix, because the way that the government, the way that the Constitution lays out the government is a more perfect form. Okay. And here's the thing. It's not perfect. Nothing is going to be perfect because nobody of the, there's 8 of us in here. I think at the most there's been 12.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're all talking over each other. 12 fucking people. Okay. 12 out of we're going on 7 billion in the world. We're not going to agree on everything. We're not going to agree on 10% of everything most of the time.
Right.
A more perfect, okay, working towards perfection. We'll never achieve perfection. I would love utopia. It'd be great. Utopia is a great fucking ideal. Here's the thing. This is the idea that Curtis and I have been throwing around, and it goes along with the volunteering. It is a civilian oversight, unpaid positions. We were tossing around the idea of making it mandatory, you know, kind of like a mandatory 2-year, not necessarily service in the military, but military training, militia. You serve, you go to boot, you learn warfare because you need to know how to fare war. You need to.
It help protect yourself and your family.
You also need to be gardeners.
Yes.
because you need to know how to grow food.
Yep, exactly. So, yes.
So there's it's multifaceted, but we have to. So, and along those lines, serving a mandatory position, voluntary, whatever, civilian oversight.
I'm back.
Where?
All right, come on, Mandela Khan. Come on, we calm the show down, please. Come on.
So having a civilian oversight committee, that is constantly rotated. So there is no, you can't have a power play. You know, the time frame, you know, once you get to power, your time's up. Okay, so having that civilian oversight over the government that looks at every freaking law, and if it violates the rights of one person, doesn't go. That's where I think we can you know, take what we have, fix what's been what has been corrupted.
Professor, just real quick, just not to throw anything on the thing. I just want to ask you if you're going to go tonight. I just wanted to ask you a question before you go. That's all I wanted to ask. Okay, please, with all due respect to everyone on the platform.
Yes, sir. I'll let you. I'll give you guys heads up. I've got my charger tonight, so I'm not going to lose power.
No fire. No fire this time. Go ahead.
But yeah, that is how one of the ideas that we've been tossing around is you know, taking what was meant to be a more perfect, and this entire, the U.S. is an experiment. It absolutely fucking is. It's a test run
that has failed.
Yes, in many ways. Yes, it has, and in even the ways that it hasn't failed has been allowed to be corrupted.
We agreed that we should destroy it because it's working as is intended.
I agree that the corruption should be destroyed. I believe that, we should continue to take the parts that work, like we took from the Charter of Liberties, like we took from the Treaty of Paris, like we took from the Magna Carta. None of those were perfect because we needed another one. The Charter of Liberties.
It's like the Constitution. It's not perfect either.
Exactly. Exactly.
I can Professor finish, please, everyone, please.
No, not everyone. Y'all won't let me interact with this new genius, this perfect son, who's giving you
medicinal. Shut up now. You got it. We heard you.
We give him municipal medicine.
He said he'd be willing to answer questions at the end. He said he'd be willing to, Mandela. But if everyone keeps jumping in, we'll never get there.
I want to interact with him, and y'all won't let me.
No, you're going now. You're too long-winded. That's all it is. You're long-winded, and you can.
No, I'm not long-winded. You under Masonic order of patriarch.
Right there is long-winded. That's not even part of what we're talking about. Shut up.
Okay, I won't shut up. I never listened to my father, and I hate God.
Shut up.
Here's, you know, he's made points. He's made valid points. The eagle being the corruption. That's simple.
I hate God, and I never listen to my father. Never tell me to shut up.
No.
Quiet.
Here. So, there are things. You know, the Charter of Liberties was not perfect. The Magna Carta was not perfect. You know, that is evidenced because we needed, you know, more bloodshed. The way that those documents came about and the way that those revolutions came about was by the end of the sword, by the bloodletting of tyrants and patriots alike.
Okay, Dr. Professor, in the United States of America, under the Confederate flag, blacks fought for the Confederate flag, and in 2020, blacks fought for the red, white, and blue. But when it comes to freedom, justice, and total independence under the Creator, nobody from the creation of the founding fathers have fought for freedom, justice, and total independence of nobody on the planet. Iraq, Iran, China, and Russia. 2020. They go kick the ass of white power. Professor.
Okay, Mandela Khan. All right, you made your point. Thank you. Please, you know, I mean, I thought we were asking him questions, not making comments.
We're trying to be short and to the point.
We was not asking no.
You were telling us. It wasn't your turn to tell. If you interrupt, you ask questions. Don't make me fucking keep muting you, goddammit.
Shut up, Sarah.
I fucking love this. I do. And see, this is what I was going on. This is what I touched on the last time. Is that you know, there's a couple of us that have dropped out. Okay, there's a couple of us that have come back. All right, so we're back up. We're back up to damn near 12 again, and we're you know, So taking those pieces, not in their entirety,
Russia,
taking
China.
those pieces.
Sarah, you got to keep it quick. You got to do it quick, Sarah.
Russia, China, Professor.
Taking those pieces that benefit all, and removing those pieces that segregate, that discriminate, that violate, that give the extra rights badges to certain people, certain groups. Removing those, we've got to come together as one, as China, as Russia, as Iran, as the United States, as the species of humans. Unfortunately, everybody has different ideals, religion, all of it.
To make sure I got.
Not yet.
Thank you.
I fucking love
Live
it.
in that living one love to make sure.
No, my Mandela, you're disrupted now. You're doing that. Come on, please.
Professor.
I'm working on it, brother. I'm working on it. I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to get there. I am
You're
trying to answer your question.
Can I have a minute?
Wait a second, brother.
Not yet, no.
I only got a minute. I only need 1 minute.
No,
Okay,
you don't
yes, sir.
get a minute yet. We're not done. Keep going. Let him finish his point, please.
I was just gonna tell y'all bye.
Oh, bye, Toby.
All righty, brother.
Thanks for coming.
Hey,
Thanks,
night.
sir. Good night,
Nice to meet
Toby.
you guys. Professor, I'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And Professor, also, I don't know if we're asking questions now. I'll be 30 seconds tops. Like you to
What's
come
your
on my podcast.
Facebook page, Professor?
I'd like you to come on my podcast where we won't have that interruption where I can mute someone permanently. I hope
What's your
I would love
Facebook
to have
page,
that on here.
Professor?
And maybe we can have this dialogue also. Maybe if I can get you for 30 minutes or 45 minutes on my podcast in the future. It's called Understanding the Times Which We Live in Today. And I'll bring on a panel of theologians and a couple other people, if you're willing, of course. I'd love to have this discussion with you further without this constant interruption. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm gonna in the chats. I'm gonna send my name. It's Josh Muth. My profile picture is myself and my wife standing in front of the waterfall when we got married.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
So getting back to it is our Constitution is another. It is just the next generation in a long line of more perfect attempts to experiment. What we need to do, and I don't think that the entirety of it needs to be dismantled. I think that the people are corrupt who are in the positions of power need to be removed. I think that the money needs to be taken out. Lobbying, all of that needs to be taken out. There does not need to be paid politicians. The original founders were not paid. They came in, they did what they did, and then they went the fuck back and went to work. That's where we get lost. And that's where it was allowed to be corrupted is by making and allowing the greed to be a portion of it. Correct. We've got to take those pieces that are more perfect and elaborate on them and have a system in place where there is oversight, not paid, but of the people. Just like having the rotating military, not necessarily service, but the training, knowing how to fucking garden, knowing how to carpentry, knowing how to blacksmith. All of those things are integral. We cannot be what we are today if one of those is gone. It's all a part of it. And we've got to take those pieces that are more perfect and combine them together for the next experiment.
The next experiment being that we protect ourselves and we sustain for ourselves, correct?
Correct.
And I agree with that. That makes a whole.
I'm gonna have some problem with the gardening stuff, man, because I suck at gardening. But hey, I grew a carrot this year.
It's. I understand what you're saying, and it's not the specifics, but it's the ideas of it. It can't be. It's a multifaceted. Everything, and that's the problem. Is everybody has a different opinion about everything. So we've got to take those pieces that we can all agree on and work on those and build on those.
Exactly. I am. Go ahead, Captain.
Oh, thank you.
I'm locked out, on hold since way back when all the extraterrestrials started.
Well, do what I do. The Führer, the president, she blocked me too. I don't give a fuck. I know how to get in.
Can I speak?
Yeah,
oh, look at this. Okay. Now, okay, I'm only coming in respectfully every time and I bow out. But I knew there was going to be 3 hours of nonsense if that wasn't stopped. And instead of it getting stopped, I got stopped, which is pretty
both
cool.
got stopped at the same time.
That's all I wanted to point out.
That's not true, because I got stopped too.
Nonsense.
Yeah,
I was trying to get back into our original conversation when we were making a lot of headway in the beginning, and we've gone way off track for over 30 minutes now, way past 30
the professor made the case for 2020. The professor alone, not you, not Joe Gibson, not me.
Again.
Look, brother, I think you're giving me way too much fucking credit there. I really do.
No, check this out.
I'll tell you what I mean. They won't
have to interrupt, not for any other reason. It's just a form of interrupting the conversation. It's not about giving you credit.
It's not. That's a lie. He's a Führer. He's a tyrant and a dictator.
If you know him yet. If once you get to know him, you'll see it. You'll see it. If he opens his mouth, it's to interrupt anything going on in this room.
Okay. If you don't achieve what you want to do, then you are a.
Oh, hang on. Oh. You both are kind of you and McCall.
Wait. I want to have a conversation with this man.
Don't agitate him, John. Don't agitate him.
You two right along the same.
Why am I in trouble?
Second Amendment. You have failed.
I was given the floor to speak, and then I was interrupted, and I'm in trouble.
Okay, speak, please.
How does that work?
Speak, please. Thank
you. Okay, right back to the beginning. Stop everything else. The original Constitution, the final paragraph in the original draft of 1789.
Selective amnesia.
Why are we?
Come on, Mandela Khan. Let everyone get a chance, please.
And why are we going
back to portion of history?
Okay, can I speak now again? Okay. That was the end of it. That now it's like, would you please tell them what you messaged me?
Yeah. The original Constitution, when we got back, where a lot of this, where we kind of got skewed and it segued. I have read that. I have seen exactly what John is talking about. Okay. I know what he's talking about. I've seen it. I've read it. I cannot find it.
Yep.
You do a search for the original Constitution. It's not there.
Correct.
Now, I know that I have read that before. I can't find it.
How do I send you George Washington's copy and the links of the Constitution? That's an original Constitution. How do I send that to you?
I have it. Actually.
You can send it to me however you want to, brother. Email, post it on the chat thread.
Now, because I only took 1 second.
Why don't you
I only took 1
I'm
second.
not sure about that original Constitution either, but that's okay.
Okay, now can we go forward in the conversation? Okay. I've already researched I've been looking for it for over about a year now. Okay, I've been looking for the original. I've researched all these documents. They're going to offer you all the research you can do. I hope you find a place to find it. But hey, Dan, they erased it from our history, brother. They took it away from us, and now everybody is arguing for this new one that got put in its place as this is what we have to do. And it is not the original Constitution at all. It's not even close to what the original writings. Okay, it's complete opposite. It's giving power to government, not restricting power of government. Okay, and that is the core principle of why everything is going on today. And I just thought I'd point that out. Like everybody says, hey, John, you're the only one. You're the only one. No, I'm not the only one. But if you point it out to the people that have read and spent their life doing it, they read it in the past and they remember the more important things of that document. That document was beautiful, and those are the people I'm looking for to connect with.
They rewrote it either. They've rewritten it to their specifications.
Exactly.
Right. They gave themselves power. That's the bottom line. So we can't honor a document that gives the power to the people we were restricting power of. Because the document was written by we, the people. Now the government has taken it over and it's written by the United States government. and they had the power to erase the original one from history. It's gone. Only left with us. And when we die, when our generation dies, it dies with us.
And you nailed it right on the head earlier tonight when you said history is written by the victors, and it's rewritten by the rich.
To the victor go the spoils. The Confederate flag and the red, white, and blue. You the eagle, and you pay all the European Union a tribute to end World War I and World War II, where white people use every weapon to destroy their cities. Italy, France, Germany. Y'all realize that, wait a minute, if we use all these weapons against each other, we'll destroy the white race.
From left field, nothing to do with anything.
Isn't it extraordinary that it was the Buffalo Soldiers, the Tuskegee Airmen, the Fighting 69th, and all of the African soldiers who helped defeat Hitler? All of the soldiers under the Confederate flag since the war against England, blacks fought for the Confederate flag, and today, blacks fight for the red, white, and blue like no other time on the history, but they won't fight for the red, black, and green. I'll tell you why, because of Russia, China, and Iran. If you go back to the newsreel, and I'm a 69-year-old G revolutionary, and all of the newsreels was talking about the bear,
station 8-hour rest limit.
The bear, which was Russia, and they were talking about China, and as the fastest, what they call China, the yellow pearl. But America had another nation. But I'm telling you, 2020, don't y'all realize how important it is to stop World War III, because Russia, China, and Iran are in the Holy Trinity? Russia, China, and Iran are in the Holy Trinity of freedom, justice, and total independence. Y'all don't know that nobody's going to win.
They probably the ones that made our constitutions off of.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this. And I'm going to take 30 seconds. 30 seconds. You punch me in my nose. Wait, hold on. Listen, I want you to listen to this. Listen to this. I don't care what you say. You punch me in my nose, and I punch you in your mouth. If you blow up my hand, and I blow off your arm, if you blow off my leg, and I blow off your leg, who is going to win? Everybody loses in World War III. Everybody loses on the planet. So, I know that Professor, they won't let me interact with you. I'm talking about all the men on this feed, but I know that.
Don't forget about the women.
100
he never forgets about
American soldiers in missiles and in Kenya. In Kenya, American soldiers died since one Iranian general. Since one Iranian general, over 100 American soldiers died. Now, here's what I want to bring to all your attention, if y'all want to go forward, was arms. If Russia, China, and Iran is the Holy Trinity, I don't give a damn if tomorrow you say, I'm going to shoot all the 50 F-16s, the stealth bombers, I'm going to use them against Iran. Russia and China is the checkmate, slam dunk, and touchdown. And I want you to realize that the Eagle, red, white, and blue, and Joe Gibson under Confederate flag, your asses are done. And black people who jump on the Confederate flag or the red, white, and blue and never fought for the red, black, and green under the matriarch, your ass is done. $10,000 for college and a GI Bill can't save your ass now, because Russia and China is against the United States of America.
We know that. I want to read this article I got. A Iranian plane carrying at least 170 passengers crashed outside of Tehran airport, killing all on board. Iran state media. I just got it right now.
So if all the European nations join with the United States of America, Russia, China, and Iran will crush your ass. Russia, China, and Iran will crush your ass into oblivion.
He's talking about.
How do you say his name again? I was,
Hello.
hello? You found the original one, you think? Joe,
Yes.
you think you found
Russia,
the original one?
China, and Iran will crush your ass into oblivion. If
We already know
Okay.
that.
Put it in the chat room. But
Okay.
Ken, I think I
Yes,
found it. There's a
Justin.
bunch of links here for the
Russia,
original.
China, and Iran will crush your
Okay, you're using too many
I'm gonna
words.
too, but I can have one.
I'm bringing up news that's today,
Right.
not yesterday. News today.
Nope.
I just got it
I
today.
never read-
I'm always a day behind.
I need like
Can I please for a second?
No, you can't.
John, where are you? I think I'm trying to send it to you. I think I've got it here. The original Constitution. You got to word it properly. What does the
I've had it
original
30
Constitution?
times sent to me. I've had it 30 times. I already looked at it 30 times. Please don't send it
No,
again.
this is another one, John. This is another one.
Okay, like I told you, if you want to know if it's the real one, go to the final chapter, read the final chapter, and see
Yeah, what
says.
does it say? I wanted to ask you that. What does it say?
Okay, here we go again.
Does it say no state
Again.
without the consent?
No,
keep
no.
troops
It
or
says the
ships of
government
war
has
in time of.
authority to add to this document or change it. And,
All right, hang on, John.
Ever.
Say that again, please. Hang on.
Well, don't hang on.
I'm trying to scroll up here, John. Where I think I saw that.
I'd like to
It
get
did
back
say
on
that
topic
here.
with my conversation with the professor because it was actually very good conversation.
I'm actually scrolling through the text, brother. I think he may have found it.
That's what I'm trying to tell him, but he wants to argue with me. You know.
Thing is, bro, I understand, but I've had it brought to me. I said 30 times. I mean, hundreds of times. Okay, and they keep bringing me the same documents. Okay, and they're not the ones that we read, and it's hard to even hear it anymore from the same.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure the democracy, tranquility provided for the common defense, supports the general welfare and security of blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, to ordain and establish the Constitution of the United States of America.
Okay, Sarah, there was all white men. You wasn't even there. Or no mother, grandmother, or great grandmother.
I can't talk about what you just said, which was beautiful, because it's all interruption and not staying on topic and not talking about good things.
White men was at the table of the Constitution.
I'll send you a couple links there where I found. I've got so many times interrupted, but it's just that I think I found the links where you can find it. It's just that so many interruptions.
Hey, after you do 3 months of this guy doing this every single time, you'll understand.
There was no white woman.
You'll understand. 3 months of this every single time. And if the conversation, if he's there quiet and it gets really good and people start learning, he interrupts.
I'll be right back, y'all.
Guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Alrighty.
Yeah, we know.
But I'm the one that gets thrown out trying to keep it on track. Why?
Because you do the same thing. It's you and him are
I don't do the same thing. I try to keep it on track.
Not always.
Anyway, I believe we're going to have to go into some serious reverse engineering on what the government has done. We're going to have to use the same tactics the government has used against us for the last 100 years and reverse engineer all this crap they done spit down to us, re-educate our children so that they'll have a fighting chance to keep the government straightened out once us old farts get back up on our feet and straighten it out this time. Then have the children keep it together from there on out. We've got this one shot. I'm getting too damn old for this, but I'm going anyway.
Well, I believe.
I'm the senior spokesperson, 69 years old. I don't know how old you are, President.
I know I'm too old to be going state to state.
I'm 69 years old. Are you older than me?
Then you get on out there with me then.
No. I'm trying to switch the program. You talking about you too old. I'm the oldest.
We're done talking about this now. Let people finish their conversation.
He's not too old.
He's not too old. You're right.
I'm going out there.
We lost the professor, didn't we? We lost the professor.
I don't blame him. We figured out this was going to be 3 hours of nonsense, and if 2 minutes, 1 minute of
How old are you, Mr. President?
Would get in, would only leave you
I'm
hanging.
61.
It wouldn't be allowed to continue.
John.
It wouldn't be allowed.
We lost the professor.
Mr. President,
Oh,
how
no,
old
there
are
he
you?
is.
Still here.
I'm 61.
Come on, everyone, come on. Can
You
we
know what?
just have a conversation
I'm
with respect?
69.
This
And
goes on
only
now
people
for
you-
until 6 o'clock in the morning of just interruptions. Till 6 o'clock in the morning, it goes on like this. No more conversation.
But you're going,
Mr. President, Mr. President, you.
That out.
we got the problem. We understand who's making.
I'm
Upcoming
69.
violation, 11-hour driving limit.
Once we quit that,
Not John.
and I know you're not John, but you guys are parallel.
Not Joe Gibson.
You guys are you and John are
Not
parallel.
John.
You guys are parallel. You're definitely.
They are.
You're parallel.
Hey,
Sorry. Did you see what I did, John?
I'm not talking because every time you ask me to talk, you get mad at me.
I asked you. It's a yes or no question. Did you see what I did?
And the people
No,
should.
I didn't see it.
Okay, well.
The
I have
people
no
should
idea.
get mad at you.
I'm too busy getting raped in my ear right now for.
You should be. The
45
people
minutes.
should be mad at you.
Come on, Medelicon. My goodness, man. I mean, you're just yelling at everybody. Even that, I can't agree with. Come on now.
Sarah,
No.
Sarah, if I point out the problem we're having, I am the problem in your mind. So I don't even think I can point it out anymore.
Nope, that's not it. That out. It's that with what you hate what McGillicuddy does, you do the same thing at times.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I let everybody talk their things, but now when it gets into 15 minutes of them talking and me not agreeing with a single thing they've said, but not being able to get in the conversation, they've already gone through 8 different topics that I didn't agree with. When are we going to stop and focus on each one of those 8? It never happens. It's a matter of learning how to have.
Understand the times we live in today.
Which
Let's not argue, man. It's the Illuminati. That's who the people that control our everyday lives. That is what we're pissed off about. Correct?
Correct.
Yes, secret societies. Yes, sir. They control the world.
Yes.
Who brought you off your show?
What? We don't hide anything, do we? Do you? I don't. You know
Anything
what
done
I'm
in
saying?
secrecy is not a good thing. I agree with you 100%.
And greed is the biggest of all evil.
Only
Greed,
evil is done in secrecy and in the dark.
What is it?
Only
Greed
secrecy.
will make you evil.
I'm sorry.
Think
Like,
about it, guys.
yeah, yeah.
It would.
Yeah, you're right.
But what we need to do is stay together for one thing, and I don't know how to make our lives any better, other than us sitting here disputing it. Right?
No, dude, you're on point 99.9% of the time. Sometimes I just misunderstand you. Okay, but you seem to be on point all the time. I just need clarification when you say something because I misunderstand it.
Can I ask a
But
question?
like you said, I want to clarify what you just said. Anything done in secrecy is evil. If it is not evil, it wouldn't be getting done in secrecy. Bottom line. So if you're
Why
having
would
secret
you hide
meetings,
it? What,
But
do
wait,
you
the point
hide
is-
your anything
Right.
you do?
right.
I don't.
The point is,
I
if
don't.
somebody's having a secret meeting,
Thing.
but wait,
If somebody asks me if I changed my song today, if I didn't, I'll say no. You
But-
know what I'm saying? Why do you know? Evil.
let me elaborate on this. If
It
somebody is
all
having a
starts with greed. It does start with greed. Because when you're greedy, you will take advantage of whoever you can and change any laws, anything you want to do. But, I mean, how we can change it, I don't know. But one thing we don't need to do is
Ex post facto or a law impairing the obligation of contracts. None of this shall be changed by any way or imposed on law. This has got to be what you're talking about, John. I'm reading it right now. No state.
Okay, if you got it, I'm willing to listen.
I might
to what you
have
got
it.
to
I'm
read.
telling you.
Read the last paragraph again, please.
I'm looking, John. There's so much information. I just can't do it all while I'm looking, though. But I'm telling you, this might be it, though. I did post a bunch of links in the chat room. I mean, if you don't want to take the time to think for
Not
what you've
at the
been preaching
moment.
all this time, then I'm sorry. You
Not
know.
at this moment. Later on, I can go look at it, but not
Okay.
right
Okay.
now.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Can we get a word in from Barry, please?
Well, I was just going to ask, like on your because there was a comment made about their the aristocracy of some people, and I got a little confused because I work really hard for what I got, and yeah, I have things, and I've worked hard for them. Now, to abolish the money system would be to abolish my desire to work hard, because I get what I get by working hard, and I like the things I get, which inspire me to go forward. Now, other people may not have the same drive or desire that I have. So why is it that we talk about abolishing the money system, which gives me the ability to purchase the things that I want based on my work and what I'm willing to do to go get them?
Can I answer that one?
I'm happy for what you do, but in order that we all know that the dollar bill is going to crash. We know that. I mean, it's inevitable, whether it's our children, our grandchildren, our grandchildren's children. That dollar bill has to crash. It's not my goal. It's not backed by anything. And I praise you for what you have done. You worked hard to get where you've gotten, but buy gold and silver, buddy. Buy gold. Earn your money. I don't know what the hell.
That
dollar bill has.
Right. Listen, I invest my money in silver. I do. I purchase a lot of silver. I mean, I do that. It's up to you, though, acknowledging that what you're counting as a currency is paper.
Okay.
That's a personal decision that you make to invest your currency in a real hard form of payment. That's something you decide to do.
Okay, hold on. Let me get in for a minute here.
If I may explain I know you addressed that question to me.
Let me get in, please. Let me get in, please. Thank you. Barry, the thing about abolishing the money is that we know that the money is what's causing all these wars and whatnot around. It would not reduce your ability to earn anything for your family, because everything would be common to all people. Everything would be common. That means that you can stay home with your kids at a longer time and only get up and go whenever you felt it was your turn to get up and go. And if you didn't feel like getting up and go, someone else would take your place, or you would train someone to do that job that you needed done for that day. If that job had to be done, someone would be there to fulfill that obligation. Thus, everything that you're working so hard for now would already be there for you. All you got to do is go to the store and get it.
Mark, if you're giving people the option, though, people by their nature are going to choose the road less traveled. So everybody's going to say, well, fuck it. Why get up and go? Because somebody else is going to do it.
There'll be so many people that will get up and do it, and 1/3 of the population now supplies for the other 2/3, whether it's welfare, prisons, the schools, CPS. That 1/3 of the population already has it in for the rest of the population.
Can I please now?
Again?
Very well. What you're talking about is very true, Mark. I get that. But it did not address his concern and why he has the concern. Okay? He is concerned of the fact that he spent his life working hard to accumulate what he has. And if the monetary system goes, all that is worthless. But that is not the case. On the contrary, you're not going to lose what you got. Okay? You're going to actually have everything that you're going to work for in the future given to you today. So now the only reason to go to work is so that everybody has it. So you go a few hours because everybody has what they need and want, but they go do their part. Now you feel it's not fair. I worked so hard and they didn't. Well, if you're going to look at it that way, we're always going to have capitalism. We're always going to have the oppression of the person that has the most is the ruler of the world.
No, but that's not true, John. Here's the thing. Here's my point in it. And like the lady from North Carolina have brought up, you know, I understand that the dollar is a facade. I get that. I get it. It's a currency. It's based on usury. I understand that. The thing of it is, though, if you were born on the African plains as an animal, does any other animal bring you your fucking food and make sure that you have your shelter? No, sir, it doesn't. What you guys are outlining defies the realm of natural existence.
Ow.
Actually, the animal kingdom take care of their own, and they do have pack animals that hang in packs, and they do take care of each other and do for each other. I mean, it's not out, it's not against it.
If I may,
Yes.
currency. I'm going to give you guys an excellent example of money. DuckTales, the cartoon DuckTales.
Yep.
I used to love watching that show.
There was an episode where they were on a stranded island, and an unknown island. They didn't know what the fuck money was. They didn't have money there. Okay. Well, somebody had a bottle cap. All right. A bottle cap. Pop top off the top of your beer, off the top of your soda, because it was DuckTales. All right. He gave that bottle cap to one of these people. That became the most precious thing, and bottle caps became currency because that's what they gave it. Because they gave it value. The bottle cap had no value. It's what we give value to.
Thank you. Very good analogy. Very good input. The point is, it's the same thing with silver. It has no value. Gold has no value. It's the same as a dollar bill. Once you can break.
No, it's not. It has weights and measures. You can't adjust the gold and silver, and you can't adjust it. Its value is what it is. Weights and measures. That's why they put it in the Constitution. That's why that's supposed to be our monetary system.
Unless I don't value gold and silver.
Yeah, but you can't. But the weights and measures you cannot adjust. An ounce of gold is an ounce of gold. An ounce of silver is an ounce of silver, right?
For how many thousands of years?
And it's brought forth by your labor, your sweat and tears. There's no adjusting it. It's not printed out of thin air like paper receipts.
Well, the thing is, we all need to, stop dragging our knuckles a bit and evolve.
Coming in.
We all need to evolve. We all need to get to the point to whereas we trust in something more than gold, silver, or whatever the currency is at that time.
We don't trust in it, Mark. It's a bartering system. It's an honest bartering system.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'd like to address that directly, Mark.
Okay, Mark, please do.
It's not the dollar that I get joy from. It's the fact that I can go on my phone, order a motorcycle, and watch my daughter drive down the road on that motorcycle, learning how to ride a motorcycle for the first time, and all the joys and all the things that are encompassed by her first ride on a bike. You know what I mean? Then it's not the dollar that I rely on. It's the dollars that I trade for the 300 blackout that'll punch a hole in your chest protection. I rely on that, and I put faith in that because I know what that 300 blackout round can do. It's not the dollar that I believe in. I don't have any faith in the dollar. In fact, my personal belief on the dollar is when you go to the grocery store, you spend your money, your dollar, on food. And then you turn around and shit it out and wipe your ass with the same thing you bought the food with. I have no desire for the dollar. It's the experiences that I get from the things that I work hard to earn that give me the joy, and that's what validate the reason for going.
Okay, I get the reason for going, but wouldn't it be a lot better if you had to go a lot less and got a lot more for not doing as much work?
Sure, but it would be a lot better if the streets were made of gold and your house was made of diamonds, and you wouldn't have, and also it would be a lot better if we could cast a spell and send the broom to sweep our kitchen floor for us. Sure, these things are capable in Disney flicks and in cartoons and shit. But in the real world, man, it's survival.
Here.
There is a natural progression of things that we tend to get away from with this progressive line of thinking that everything's going to end up honky-dory and happy. It's not the nature of the beast. For every one of you,
the nature of the beast is to just keep on putting on and perpetuating these wars with the currency. They can't do it any other way but with money.
That's not true. In the Bible, there's stories where they went to war over pussy, dog. Come on.
Well, they're still doing that today.
Right. So you can't say that the dollar perpetuates all wars. All the things that people lust after have started wars at one time or another. The bottom line is the lowest common denominator is you are an evil creation. The only way to keep that evil creation in check is to have the equal and greater reactionary force that can and will opposite that effect.
You know, that's very true. Exactly it. But the fact of the monetary system is not natural. It is man-made to control and enslave man. From the conception of gold being a monetary system, silver being a monetary system. You got to break through that we have, and that is the the evolution of man. No, that is the de-evolution of man, that these things were brought in. And that's the point of having conversation and understanding.
Okay, but in getting to what you said, John, I'm not disagreeing.
Let the professor say something. He keeps going to open his mouth and gets overridden every time. I'm watching his video screen and he's like me. Oh.
No, well, I just going along the lines of what is of value, and if we want to, be honest with ourselves about it, the only thing that matters is our time, because we don't get that back. We have a very finite time here. The money, I go to work and I don't get paid the value of my time. I don't get paid the value of missing time with my children. It's the time. It's the time that we put in. Like what Mark was saying, there will be some that will go to work. There will be some that won't, and they will be without. There will be some that do. But the idea that we can put value on a thing is skewed, because this right here, this fucking little riptide vapor that I got, if enough of us decided that this was worth $1 or was worth some intrinsic value, this can be currency.
Well, we still have to have some sort of bartering system, though. We're just not going to go out there and say, I want that, Professor. I want that, Mark Johnson. I want it, it's mine. No, I'm going to say, hey, I'll give you this for what I have, and we trade. Trading has been...
Have you guys ever seen the movie? Have you guys ever seen the movie Phenomenon?
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful movie.
Needed a fence bill. Needed solar.
Have you ever watched the documentary, The Money Masters? It goes through all right. So we have to have a bartering system.
All of those people. There was 5 or 6 people that needed something done, and he went to these people because he knew everybody that needed what they needed done, and he knew that this person could do this, and this person could do this, and this person could do this. And he worked it out to where he got what he needed as well. No money, no intrinsic physical thing was exchanged. It was their labor. It was their time.
No, but
what about the guy, Professor, that doesn't want to do anything? How do you get that person to join in?
You don't.
Thank you.
And they will go without.
No, they'll have to. You see, the thing is, folks, is that you have 2 types of people. You have people that have, and you have people that don't have. That's your enemy classes right there. Okay. You have to get rid of them.
Okay, Professor.
So that would be the same reverse psychology of saying, well, let's just have the people who have, like the elites do to us right now. Hey, we got, so let's get rid of those who don't have. You know, so that's the same type of reverse psychology there.
Professor.
We're all that run around. For the elite, we're just little ants that just pay their way through society, you know? We're little ants.
Professor, can I?
Wherever you work at, all you're doing is a little ant that just paves the way for somebody else. And I'm sick of it.
So by working, I'm taking away from somebody else by working.
What's that, boss?
Is that what she said? I'm taking away from somebody else by working?
No, I did not. What I said was, I am just a little ant making my world today and feeding.
I think somebody's phone's ringing and it's interfering over. But Professor, I just wanted to.
Hang on, let me get it in here.
I don't know who's going with this, and I don't know.
Professor, I want to get back to what you said. You said that if that little vape that you had in your hand, if enough of you believe that it's of value, then it becomes a currency. Isn't that what you said?
Yes, sir.
That's a rhetorical statement, and I'm going to point out why. You thought that it was of Jesus Christ. What is that? What is that? The phone's ringing.
All right.
Okay, so you considered it the value of the monetary that you traded for it, or you wouldn't have traded your monetary for it, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so if you run across, let's say the bull jumps off, there is no monetary, but there are a couple of those vapes floating around. Whatever you have at the time, because you put value on the vape, whatever you have, you're going to barter as a form of currency to get the vape because you put a value on it, whereas the guy who found it may want 10 bullets instead of the vape, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so right now, the dollar is substituted as the thing that you desire because it can manifest itself in whatever you desire if you accumulate enough of them, correct?
Correct.
And the basis set on that is what?
I'm sorry, I missed that. The what?
The basis set on that. The basis for the price tag that's put on that product is what?
I don't know.
It's how much of somebody. It's how much of somebody else's time, and how much of somebody else's time on Earth was given up to produce this product. Correct.
Correct.
So they're giving up something of their value that they can never get back to produce a product that you're just going to simply dispose of at some point anyway.
Correct.
That's a true statement, right?
That is a truism.
Okay,
that
so
would be the dollar bill.
What
that
is
would
it?
be the dollar bill we're going to dispose of.
Okay, well, see, the thing of it is, though, you have to have some kind of unilateral thing that you respect that can manifest itself into the things that you want to your heart desires, the things you want to spend your time on Earth to get.
Right. It's a give and take. It's you know, if I value the vape, I'll trade you. You know, what do you value? You value a $10 bill. Okay, I have $10 bills. They're of no value to me. I'll trade you these $10 bills for these vapes. If it's food, if it's the time spent growing and harvesting and loving and caring, because you've got to, you have to, you got to put in what you get out of it. Yes, you're right. There will always be something to trade, but that value, the value of that thing is a personal decision. What a $1 to me isn't anything, but somebody that doesn't have $1, that's a whole fucking lot.
Right. Like how you spend and arrange your time is completely up to you. I'll use myself as a personal example. I am a truck driver. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I got full sole custody of my kids were babies. They were twin 5 months old and a 16-month-old. which required me to give up driving over the road and go home to drive locally where I could put them in daycare, pick them up at the end of the day, go home, cook for them, wash their clothes, and see to their needs, right?
Right.
Now, as the situation developed, manifested, you know, I got questions like, Dad, where's our mommy? Things like that, right? Now, these are things I can't expand to children. They wouldn't understand anyway. So they're looking for a mother figure, a mommy figure. I insert a mommy figure that I can provide. I have a family member that I believe would be a good example for my children to measure up as a woman, right? Now they're craving that woman figure because they've had the dad their entire life. Now that opens me up to get back into the tractor trailer, go make some serious money for the whole situation, because they already got their extra fill of dad. They're looking for the mother figure in their life. Well, I use that to my advantage to go capitalize on the situation and earn the money that the family needs. That is a necessity. I can trade those tickets for the things that the whole family needs. Now, it also enables me to get into a truck, listen to some audio books, scroll through some things on the internet, and learn some real wholesome information. Sometimes you have to go to foreign channels to learn, but you maximize your potential at every position. And as a head of household, you align the household to do the same way.
Sarah, on behalf of free speech and everybody get equal time to interject because of the sign of the times in which we live in today. Objection, if I may.
Well, yes, but the history of the bartering system though goes back to 6,000 BC.
Joe Gibson,
okay?
Don't do that.
Even the Babylonians developed an improved system of bartering. But Medelcon, you'll start rambling on forever. I mean, you'll change the topic.
Where is the co-producer? Sarah. Sarah Steele. That's all I need to hear on behalf of the matriarch. And all these men.
There is no such thing.
Sarah, you are hearing all of these men, including the professor and John, giving you their international commercial amity ministerial remedy. However, on behalf of all the mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers on the planet,
oh God,
because
and the vagina, don't forget the vagina.
Not Iran,
exactly.
but
Don't
Russia and China. Russia and China is the real holy trinity under live and let live in one love. I don't care what the Constitution has to say or Joe Gibson and the Confederate flag. Here's what I know. I can prove what I'm telling you. Right now, everyone in the United States of America, black, brown, red, yellow, and white, old, young, gay, straight alike, on behalf of the matriarch, I want you to hear me clearly. The mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers outside the United States of America are with their fighters. And how could it be at a late date like this that
what kind of bartering system does Ethiopia have in the matriarch, I wonder? The vagina for the penis? I don't know.
Damn, did he just get got?
Dildo in Africa.
That's hilarious, Joe. Hey, Joe, you're a funny dude, man.
How much they get for that? Joe?
I don't know. But where were we? Where were we though? Seriously,
okay, Professor, if I may, where we were on the Constitution and the fact that that document that they're saying
Russia, China, and Iran.
He's relentless.
The Holy Trinity, right? We got it.
People by the people. Of the people.
Holy shit.
Where were we? We're at the Constitution.
I wanted to get back to the original conversation with Professor.
Do not give anybody your dollar bill ever. And do not accept a dollar bill. And don't buy gas. Don't buy electricity. Live off your land. Hunt by your means. and wake the fuck up and get your nuts together and live off your land.
Well, look, money, some sort of bar, some sort
do not have nuts. Thank you.
Some of us, I mean, hang on. Money in some sort of form has been part of human history for at least 3,000 years. So how do we change that? You know, after 3,000 years, Professor or John, maybe. How do we change that? You know?
Live off the land, Joe. It's simple. Don't ask nobody for nothing. I don't want yours. You don't want mine. Leave me alone. I'm going to eat off my land.
All right. I don't think that's the right way to go.
Let me address that a little bit. Just a little thing here, a little food for knowledge.
Upcoming violation, 11-hour driving limit.
And then if the land's flat, then
Please.
I'm going to step off.
Please, sir. Please, I'm begging. Please. Okay. We are self-efficient as a collective. We don't have to become self-efficient as an individual. We are as a collective, and that's what we have to work on. Our ability to be self-efficient,
Professor.
as a collective, monetary in any form, gold, silver, dollars, rules, whatever you want to put in there, takes away our self-efficiency as a collective. Okay, now go ahead. I'm done saying.
Now, now about money though, but monetary system goes along with discovery, you know, and discovery means what? You want what I discovered, so therefore we create what? A trading system,
Money.
And now we get money involved, right? So
Money
you know.
is the root of all evil.
Oh, it is. It is.
Just
Oh, yes,
you
it
wipe
is.
your ass with it. It's not important.
I agree. It creates greed. Yes, it creates greed, power, and control. You're absolutely correct.
Professor,
but I'm just trying to say, my main question was, how do we do away with it after thousands of years of having to deal with it?
Excuse me. Professor, the statement I made, can you elaborate on that and give your opinion of what I said?
Are you talking to me?
No, the professor here, because when he speaks, he analyzes what he's talking about. He doesn't just repeat the same thing over and over and over that everybody's repeating that we can't, we have to.
Yes, I would like to listen, but I definitely like his pipe.
And I like what he says when he talks.
What exactly do you want me to reiterate? Sorry,
Okay,
what are you-
like I said, we are already self-efficient as a collective. We don't have to learn to do anything to be self-efficient as an individual, to where everybody must be self-efficient as an individual, have their own farm, their own power plant, their own means of doing their own thing. We, as a collective, we only have to learn one thing each. And as a collective, we are self-efficient. Money just takes away that from us and puts somebody else in charge, so that it destroys our ability to grow as a race, basically. Is what I'm trying to say. I said it in different words, but basically the same thing. What do you think about that?
I understand that, absolutely, and yes, I agree with it, because it is taking, again, it is taking our time and our labor and converting it into a thing. Versus,
can I tell you what I think about that?
So I can take my skill of being a carpenter and turn it into this handy dandy little pipe here that I can smoke whatever the hell I want to out of. Laws be damned. And I can barter or trade or sell for whatever you know. If you may have something that I value, that is, you know, whatever value you have on it. If whatever you have that I want and I have what you want is of equal value.
Okay. I
Does that make
understand
sense?
fully what you're
Well,
saying.
but
No,
it creates stability, though. It creates
if I don't get
stability.
interrupted, we can advance to the next stage of evolution of mankind.
Right. Making pipes the currency. Making the thing.
Okay, stop interrupting me and I'm gonna let him finish, please.
Yes, please.
Go ahead,
Let us
Professor.
finish this little conversation. Okay, now think of mankind, the evolution of mankind. The fact that the bartering system is holding us back from evolving as a collective that is self-efficient, self-productive. The bartering system is the same as the monetary system. If we abolish all of that, and as a collective, we just do our part, you do the carpentry because that's what you want to do as many hours in it as you want, provide for the people that need and that, everybody everything else you need, you have access to it all freely, not restricted. Only restrict it if the resource is not abundant enough to where, okay, we only got enough to where everybody gets this and everybody got the equal share. And we ain't got no more, man. You know, that I understand restriction. But if we can produce an abundance to where there's no need for a restriction, which we can in about everything that is out there, except for gold and silver, which we don't need at all, except for technology to use it to build something that would be productive and help us. But, you know, if we all get all-
Can I ask a question on that?
So we are using technology now on Zoom. I mean, we are. And I don't know. What we should do is what we're doing right now, talking and conversing, and get our collective thoughts together and make this world a better place for other people.
For everybody.
I support that. I support that. You said collective.
Yeah, you
thought.
do, John. Of course you do.
You said collective thoughts, not redundant thoughts.
So you say, John, that gold and silver have no use for the human race whatsoever?
No, but
no, I said they have use. They have a use.
I
but
wanted
not
to
as a monetary system.
I wanted to ask a question to John.
So there's no chemical elements in gold or silver that help us at all whatsoever? I mean, he says, John, you don't know what you're talking about.
Ignore what I said? Did he just totally ignore it?
It has no, and you say it has no benefits. That's what you said. It has no benefits at all.
They have no use as a monetary system. They're destructive. They have use for technology. And
what about the power to heal disease? You know, silver has a lot of power to heal disease. You know that?
But
you said it has no ability. That's what you said.
Do you not hear what I am saying?
Yes, I did. I'm just repeating it to you. That's what you said.
No, you said, I said it has no use. I said it does have a use. But when used as a monetary system, it is a destructive use.
That's not what you
said. What it is good for, not for the destruction of mankind.
But I got a question for John regarding...
It's always been gold and silver has been the worst destruction of mankind that there is right?
Okay.
Money.
For a most part, yeah, it was. People used to kill over that shit. You found gold, somebody take it from you. There was actual lots of murder from that.
But we can learn. But also gold and the properties of it's non-toxic to humans. It makes a great replacement. Silver is used in ointments, for instance. It's a lot of things. Antibacterial qualities also for silver and gold. That was my point, John.
I actually have a friend that uses silver for Lyme disease.
In your teeth.
Yeah.
You see everybody with the grail, with their teeth shining with gold and silver, right?
God damn it! Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Barry had a question for. I got burrs everywhere. I'm sorry, I didn't realize my mouth.
I had a question for John, because when he was saying that you train your carpenters, you train everybody learns their one job and they have their place in society. What happens when the neighboring society decides they want to conquer you and they take out your farmers because they're warriors, know how to farm and they know how to build and they know how to do a little bit of everything? What happens when a society that's evolved to a condition that they can master a couple different skills because they're educated comes up against your monocularistic society and destroys them systematically because it's set up systematically and it can be destroyed the same way, sir? What happens?
Okay. That's the duty of the Constitution of the United States. Wait, I asked you a direct question. I'm going to give him a direct answer. I'm not going to take long. If I don't get interrupted, I will not take long. That is the beauty of the original Constitution of the United States. It was to form a united military, which we will not disband. What? We will not disband the united military. Keep our united military. That will be a job that everybody...
He's not talking about the military.
You don't even... That's a standing army. What are you talking about? You're talking about standing armies, man.
No, and here he goes with his utopia world by force. You know,
read the Constitution.
You see, I don't get
the Constitution. Read the Constitution. Read the Constitution.
Not even 1 minute. They're interrupting me. Not even 1 minute into my explanation. And I'm
No, but
committed to
read
about
the Constitution about standing armies. You'll see that what you're saying is wrong. You're contradicting yourself with the
Again,
document.
let's revert back to the beginning of this conversation.
Oh
That is not the Constitution that you're reading.
Oh my God! Now I'm reading the wrong document. You're fucking quoting. You're crazier than pile dog shit, man. There ain't no.
I know he is. He's not. He's flat.
You're talking more circles than he orbits around the Earth, sir.
You're too educated for me to talk to, man.
Well, maybe you should get some then.
I
No, the government would brainwash him then, and he can't.
Oh yeah, he'd be dumber and smarter.
But you notice you're
You'd have
not
to do a watch
accept
party
listen
on
to
that.
anything but your brainwashing narrative. I know your narrative because I listen.
Oh my God! Now I have a narrative to brainwash.
We know John's too.
I want you to
Hello,
be
everybody.
free
Let's talk.
learn.
That Joe Gibson, he's a I don't like him.
Hey,
Why ask the question if you're not going to allow?
Hey, Sarah's talking.
Thank you.
You better watch.
I want to hear John's answer.
Thank you. I mean, you did ask a question. Why didn't you allow the answer? Because now, again,
Go ahead, John.
Just answer it.
Invading force wants to come and take out of our collective and take over our collective. Well, that was the purpose of the Constitution, was to form a united military so no foreign invaders could come in and take this all from us. And we keep that. We keep a trained military, well equipped, that everybody, you don't have to, but it's encouraged to go do at a certain age, spend a few years in there, learn the ways, and then get out, or even just spend the basic training and not necessarily have going to torture you and run and tear you down.
You're here, right?
To reprogram you. Basic training today is to reprogram the soldier to another mind of thinking. They tear them down just to bring you in there to teach you how to operate these things. Go home. Now, if something happens, you'll be called up and you'll have your chance to defend this country. We don't have to. And the standing military in the United States that was forbidden is the Justice Department, not the defensive military.
Sir, for your citation of the Constitution, the Congress, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 12, the Congress shall have power to raise and support armies, but no appropriation of money to that use shall be for a longer term than 2 years. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 12. Sir.
I think where it's going with that is from something that I stated earlier, as far as the how to fix things. Where I was going with how to fix things. I personally believe that as a society we need to be educated in a vast minority. There needs to be redundancy, specifically because of the example you gave, Barry. If that standing army comes in and takes out our farmers, well, if everybody's a farmer, if everybody has that not necessarily standing army, but has the training to be the army, the militia, the people, that I think is where he's going with
Don't take out our farmers.
That's my opinion.
Don't do it.
At some point, every person, look, when I was a kid, I don't hear about this anymore. There was a country, and I don't remember which one it was, but name. Okay, wait. There was a small country, small one. I don't remember it by name, but it was well known because it told the world, we train every single citizen at the age of 16 to be a marksman shooter. So if you invade our country, everybody in this country has a rifle and is going to be a marksman. So they never got invaded by a military for that reason.
If anybody comes to
I don't have a gun.
Okay,
I don't
be a marksman.
My story, the moral of my story.
Somebody comes in my house.
Can I interject a thought to your standing army deal?
Have y'all ever saw the movie Red Dawn?
Yes.
Where they're high school kids and then here comes the Russians with parachutes in.
Yes.
Y'all ever seen that movie Red Dawn?
Yes. Yes.
Who won?
Ultimately, it ended with a couple of the kids getting shot, but the Russians were still an occupying force. It never really outlined who won. It kind of ended.
It's also a movie. It's also a movie, right?
Yeah,
it was a movie about a little ragtag team of resistance.
It was about getting invaded in the United States by a foreign country.
Yes,
on our
but you know that was a movie, Hollywood.
You
It's
know,
not
even
real life.
with movies, there's still little truth. A lot of it may be embellished a lot more than half the time, but it's still true.
No, but the concept,
Even if it is a movie, that's like, oh gosh, I can't even think of what I'm saying.
The
No, what
concept,
you're saying, it was a movie.
the concept is life imitates art imitates life. That's the concept you're naming.
Thank
But
you.
the movie was based on what if we were
It brings life for me. If somebody invaded my country like that, we all know we would fight, right?
Okay.
I would.
Well,
or not.
I would definitely fight. I don't know shit, but give me a gun and teach me how, I'll do it.
Can I interject? Can I interject an intelligent thought on why I have opposition to standing armies?
Please do.
Okay. See, if there's a supreme governing body that seeks to take over the people like our government does now, if it constricts the number of uniformed soldiers to a very minimal number, it knows exactly how many it needs of this to control that. If you leave those things completely undetermined by leaving the privateer, the private individual, the latitude to practice whatever means they see fit to defend themselves, you give them the freedom to practice whatever they want to.
Hope I'm the last. Go ahead. Hope I'm the last if they leave alone.
Okay. The military to defend this country is a necessary thing to defend against foreign attack. Okay. At that time,
But only when a foreign attack's present, sir.
okay. Okay. So you have to have it ready, not when the foreign attack, before the foreign attack gets here, you have to have the defense ready. Otherwise,
so if you didn't steal my rights, so if you didn't steal my rights to make ready, I would be ready to defend you from fucking aliens from outer space. If you didn't steal my rights, I'd be prepared naturally of my own free will to handle any fucking thing that might land on Earth. That's me.
Okay.
And I know there have been like me.
That's you. But now, if you had to stand against an army of 100,000 with tanks, aircraft, bombs, you could not do anything. So we have to have a military ready to defend against that coming against us. That is the point of the Constitution, was to keep a military against an army coming in organized on us. We have an organized entity there to stop that, and it has worked. They have never attacked us. We have never been attacked. It's worked. So we don't get rid of that. Right? It has worked. America's never been attacked.
Not on U.S. soil, but like Hawaii when they bombed Pearl Harbor.
We bombed Pearl Harbor.
On actual U.S. soil.
When we bombed Pearl Harbor.
But it's the damn Cubans. The Cubans could hit Florida like, I mean, goddamn, it ain't but fucking like 20 miles to get to Cuba.
It's not what it looks
90 miles. 90 miles. And
You
my
know,
family
y'all could
Cuba.
shoot a goddamn shotgun out there and kill
But it's 90 miles.
You don't tell me no. I do what I want.
I could knock the
I'm looking
cigar
for,
out
I
of
don't
it.
have a cigarette, so.
My
I
family's
couldn't
from Cuba.
Out of her Dolphy's mouth from here.
But Cuba's not our enemy. They're not attacking. They never have. Cuba's never attacked us in history.
I
Pearl
know
Harbor,
it.
we
And
attacked ourselves.
damn close. If you think about it, Cuba's probably the worst. If they wanted to get something together, they're right there.
Do you know
You know
why
it.
Cuba? Do you know what happened with the missile crisis? What the reason was of it? It's because we put missiles. Okay, wait. We, the United States, went and positioned missiles on Russia, right up in their borders. We positioned missiles there. So Russia's response. Okay, wait, please. Russia's response to us putting missiles on them, right there next to them, was them putting missiles in Cuba, not to attack America, but as a deterrent from getting attacked by America. That was the whole missile crisis. You didn't hear the truth, obviously.
Y'all remember the Haitian thing when all the damn Cubans come into Florida and shit on banana boats and shit? And
I don't know what you know, but I lived it. I lived it.
Back in, they fled Cuba, correct? Am I correct?
Bro, how many people are fleeing the United States?
They fled Cuba.
Dude, how many people are fleeing the United States? That's not an argument for nothing. That's a personal, I want to move. I want to move.
Yeah.
Now, Cuba, Castro, in the process of this, they said, okay, you can come pick up your families. You would come to pick up 3 family members, and he would say, okay, I want to empty my prisons. You're going to take 6 prisoners with you if you want to take your family. I'm just pointing out the facts. You're going to take 6 prisoners on your boat if you want to take your family.
In the Florida, they fled in here in the 80s from fucking everybody fucking, I mean, hit Miami, the Cuban up there. But anyway, I saw it firsthand, but that doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I got friends.
You saw what you saw in the news. What you saw in the news. I lived it.
Yes, sir, I did.
And you don't want to hear nothing about the person that lived it. It was there. My family left when Castro took control. My family left as political prisoners. My mother and my aunts were in prison. When he took control, he put them as political prisoners. They came to America after that.
Why did he do that?
At the age of 16, they came to America. Dude, but now you have no history of Cuba. I got a lot of history and truth. We're talking to Cubans all the way.
Goddamn Hitler, wasn't that? That was like Hitler shit, dude.
See what I love about
why do you do that to your people? Why do you do that to your people?
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? I'm here, I can educate you on the truth about the Cuban thing. But you have been indoctrinated with the lies of the propaganda, and you will not let them go and learn the truth. The professor will research and say, oh, you were there. Let's see what happened. And he will listen, and he will like, oh my God, I just learned something. And that's what I do.
Don't really know. I'm going by when I was younger, in the 80s, I lived here in Florida, and there was this refugee thing.
Oh,
I
you
don't
were a redneck.
know. Tell me what was going on.
Hey, let me ask you something.
They would come over in boats.
Can I ask you a question? You were a redneck, right?
Yes, sir. Born and bred.
Good. Yeah. Hey, dude, I had to live with them.
I'm sorry.
I grew up with them.
I was
in
North Carolina.
I was that little Cuban house in the neighborhood.
But now I'm
surrounded
living
by
in
a bunch
Florida.
of okay?
No, I'm not.
Oh, I know what I had to live through.
I'm surrounded by black people.
That made me who I am today.
And they're the best friends to me as anybody would be, just like y'all are. You know what I mean?
Okay, I noticed you won't give me a chance to speak, and you keep interrupting me, and I keep shutting up to let you speak. I noticed that.
I had something to say. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I grew up as a Cuban family in a neighborhood, in a house, surrounded by rednecks in the neighborhood. I know the ignorance and that they were thinking in that time, because they were told by the government we're being invaded, our country is being invaded, where all we did was come in and work, okay? And actually built Miami and the whole south of Florida, okay? That's all. And you know what's good about it? We still to this day hold war of
I'm not saying nothing about that now.
To this day, we still.
I apologize if you take it the wrong way. I am so fortunate to have what I have. You know it. And what I need to start doing is talking to people like y'all and getting my garden together so I don't have to live like. Because I'm gonna tell you, I need a job. But,
Can I point something out? I mean, I keep getting interrupted.
Okay, then what I got to do is live off my means, right, guys? And it's not stealing or nothing. It's fucking providing for myself my food and everything else. And that's what, isn't that why we're here about what? I mean, am I saying the wrong thing?
Yeah, you got way off track, brother. We were trying to have a conversation, understand something, and you did go way off track.
I did.
I'm not being mean. I'm not being mean. He asked if he was saying the wrong thing. Yeah, you're way off track. Can I get us back on track? Okay. The Cubans, to this day, in Florida, in Miami, down there, they still have the American pride. Buy local. Support your local business. Build your local community. Support your local family. Support. Now, look, I moved to Mississippi. Let me point this out, please. There you go. Get a thought out. Go ahead.
I did not mean no disrespect when I said what I said. All I was doing was speaking from my heart. I was born in North Carolina, and I graduated a few miles from where I'm living at right now. But I was born in North Carolina. You got me? And when I was living down here in 1982, yes, I had a cocaine problem because who didn't do was fucking Pablo Escobar and shit. You know what I'm saying? And all I did was I merely mentioned that Cuban thing that had happened in my life because I graduated in 1982 from first grade high school. I mean, I'm not that bad of a person. I was just saying when I was living down here in the 80s that had that Cuban thing, and I don't even know Cubans now. Ain't that funny? I do have a Puerto Rican friend, but
excuse me, I'm really trying to be patient here, but we're getting way off topic, brother. I'm being very patient, and everybody else is, I can see, but we're way off topic, and not trying to interrupt you, not trying to shut you down. You know, I'm not trying to hinder your ability to speak, but I appreciate we stay on some kind of topic other than, you know, because like I was going to say, and it's relevant. American pride. I remember as I was growing up, American pride, buy American. That was the big slogan of the world in America. Now, Cubans, they still live by that. You guys don't even ever say that again. Everything, we don't have American pride anymore.
Anything wrong?
There you go again.
God, I didn't. I did not. All I said was what I faced when I was living here. That's all. And
that was
take
the
it
fourth
for
time
whatever
I
you
tried to say the same sentence, and I couldn't get it out. 4 times.
I love Cubans as much as I love everybody. Hey! All I want is us to be peaceful and get this situation rectified. That's what I want. I do not want my children and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren to have to put up with this.
I'm sorry about that. Anybody want to talk? Go ahead. You won't be interrupted.
Barry, you there?
Do
Barry,
what? Yeah.
Go ahead. Let her rip. Go for it.
Let me.
Tater chip.
Hold on. What did I'm working, so I'm pulling up this. If you could skip by me, I'm sorry.
We'll get back to you. Let us know when you want.
Okay, I guess, Professor.
Professor, you can speak freely now, man. I think. I hope.
Yeah, finally.
I'm not sure what I want to say at this point.
I know so many topics come out. We can't stay focused, man. And I try very hard. And look, I am sorry. I realized a little while ago you told me I had control of the platform. So I booted McGillicuddy 3 times, put him on hold. He kept coming back, so I literally forced him out permanently because he just kept coming back and doing it. Then this guy, I think I was patient. I just muted him is all I did. Okay? I don't like doing this to people, and I don't want to be in a position to have to do it. But I would like the conversation to progress and we make progress. Okay? That's all I'm asking for, people. So
that right there, what you're doing is the my exact argument for the chat rooms. Keep it fucking simple. Quit with the partisan politic bullshit. Quit fighting. Quit the infighting. Quit. We've got to find common ground.
And it's not a matter of sidetracking the conversation. Stay focused. And we're having a hard time focusing on one thing here, or on any given thing for that matter. But no, go ahead, man. Look, we can go back to the Constitution. Start right where we were in the beginning. The Constitution, how they altered the document, they disappeared the document. Maybe he found the original one. I don't know, but I ain't got the time right now to go read it and see and find it. But if he wants to read the final verse of it, if he's there looking at it, he wants to get to the final chapter, the final paragraph, and read it, I'll know if he found the original one. I tell people that all the time. All you gotta do, get to the final chapter before the insert of the Bill of Rights. Because it's the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Okay? You get to that part right there, that final chapter. And that's it. That'll tell me if it's the original or not.
Okay, hey, Professor.
Go ahead.
I've seen it. I know I have. I've read that. I know it somewhere it does. Now, again, with that, I didn't do my due diligence at the time to find out, and I'm not sure if it was Google or hell, even if Google was a thing back then, I don't know. But that statement and it all boils down to kind of what they twisted the supremacy clause into, where these are the rules for the government, and the government cannot change this, period, in any way, shape, or form.
And that comes back to we the people. This is the word of we the people. And now we are establishing a government over us, and these are your restrictions, and you are not allowed to alter it. And that is common sense to know that when I say that, wait a minute, of course we would have put that in there. We wouldn't have put restrictions on them and said, oh, but you can go ahead and lift these restrictions and enslave us. Common sense. You don't have to know the document. All you have to do is be able to use common sense and think, hey, you're making a lot of sense. I believe that just because it's the only way that document would have gotten passed.
Right. It's like it's like the argument about the original 13th Amendment. The original 13th Amendment that bars lawyers from holding position. That's not what it says now. But the original one, it's the same argument. 2 constitutions, 2 13 amendments.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot out there. But, hey, the way I look at it, 11 through 27 are null and void. Just by the original Constitution. They're null and voided already. And all they do is say Congress will have the power to decide over this permanently. Right. They kind of like what the original Constitution said, that the people have this right. They'll write in there, the people have this right. And then say, but we're giving the power to Congress to make the ultimate decision.
Right. It's kind of like
hey, Professor.
Yes, sir.
Professor. Yeah, now going into those details about the Constitution and stuff, it's nice that we have a Constitution formed. But the thing is, I believe the solution to it is to insert something else into the government to prepare us for a time and state to whereas money won't be necessary. Like to have, like the Army Corps of Engineers, that's just basically setting things up in the nation to feed, house, and clothe everybody. Same way that they pay the military, they'd have this force going in from like the say age of 16 up till they're 20. Then after they reach the age of 20, they can la-di-da the rest of their life, do whatever the hell they want to do because everything that they need is already supplied for. And then the old people that are already here, hey, a few people get together, we get up. Instead of sending them off to service or to these high-tech colleges, let them get some OJT, on-the-job training on how to do basic things and making this a part of our economy, a new economy.
Well, see, We all are searching for ink to solve our problems. There's an island. I want to say it's off the coast of Australia, Indonesia, somewhere. And there recently was a missionary that went to bring Christ to them, and they fucking shot him. They shot him on the beach.
Yay!
Here's the thing. That tribe has been in existence. They don't have contact with the outside world. They don't have a constitution. They don't have ink on paper telling them what to do, what not to do. They don't need money. They are a tribe, and they work as a tribe.
Yep. That's what we have.
I agree with that. Rights only exist in the mind, and they only exist in a place where you're willing to defend them. If you're not willing to defend anything that you feel you have coming to you, then you don't have anything coming to you. That's the reality, and that's a natural status. I don't disagree with that.
No, correct. Like he just said, the rights, to defend our rights. Now, the funny part about that is the Second Amendment is there to defend all our rights. And all we defend is the Second Amendment. Don't use it to defend all our rights, which is kind of like, wow, man, uneducated population.
It's like having teeth and taking them out and setting them on the shelf and saying, I'm going to use those, but they have dust on them.
Right. And then if somebody comes to take your teeth, you're willing to die to keep your teeth, but you never use them for what they were intended. Exactly.
My grandpa's got teeth, and he throws them under the bed and throws them everywhere in the room. So, he's like, fuck my teeth.
I'll gum you to death.
Mine come out when I yell at my kids every time.
Can I read something to you guys real quick?
Please do.
Please do.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they're endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Focus on that last sentence. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, deriving, having been given justice, truth, real. Come on, break out all this.
No, that's great. Can I ask one question now of everybody? Do we consent to this government?
Fuck no.
That's it. Nobody consents. So it is time to abolish it. Because none of us consent. Nobody does. That's the one thing we got in common.
Good luck. Because that's
but do you understand
what, ma'am?
It's a well-regulated militia. You're supposed to be part of the militia. You're supposed to understand that.
Hey, John. The reason they can't say no and abolish this government, like you so astutely point out, is because that same goddamn standing army you're fucking supporting and all the shit they built to cold kick your fucking ass. Because if the army shut up. Because if the army doesn't. Because if the army doesn't use that, if the army doesn't use that equipment, they will, with that money you're so displeased with, pay somebody else to come in that equipment and fuck your ass up. So if you don't use your, if you don't use your second,
let him finish. Go
so
ahead, Barry.
So if you don't actually exercise your Second Amendment to cold kick some fucking ass, you'll never abolish this thing standing on your fucking throat.
Exactly.
If you're not that tribe on the island that shoots every missionary.
What he just said right there was at me. Let me address it plain and simple and logically. And I will do it. And please don't interrupt them ass this time. Okay. They have tried right now in history, this has happened. They tried to get the military to come in here and disarm the population. The military said, no, we will not do it. to our government, the ones that you think are going to use them against us, that they will not attack America.
So this is the first time.
We already know that they won't be able to use that entity against us. Proven fact. This is not a discussion. It's done. And you know this. Now, what did they do? They do have control over our military. So they sent it all away, put it on a blackout situation so that our military doesn't know what's happening in America. And now they're about to attack us with foreign invading troops.
Okay. So you're saying
everybody watched 13 hours.
You're saying this is the first time that's happened. That's what you're saying, right?
This is not the first time that's happened.
This is the first time in our lifetime and in the history of the United States of America that they are coming in to disarm every American by force with a foreign invading troop.
Every American
foreign troops in America.
I'm going to tell you, American troops disarmed Texans at Waco with incendiary ammunition and special forces units. So it is not the first time the United States military has been used against American citizens, and that's why I'm so adamant against standing armies. When they don't have work, they'll find work.
Let me explain this to you. Look at that situation. Look at this situation. The situations are completely different. And you're trying to say because they were forced to and had justifiable cause in some points to do that, now they will do it to all Americans and attack us all. No.
Yes, John, they will.
So you're saying they had justified, you're saying that's justified what they did?
I don't think it was justified at all.
They justified it to the soldiers. Look, if you tell me exactly why they came, what they were coming up against, why they were called in, what was the excuse? Were these people starting riots? Were these people being disorderly to the civilians? And, no, what were they doing there?
What they were doing
automatic weapons.
They were living off the grid. Yes, they had fully automatic weapons. They were living off the grid. They weren't buying your power off your power company. They built their own commune, and the government subjected this.
Are you talking about Waco, Texas?
Yeah, of course I am. Sure. That's what I said, Waco.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about. Waco, Texas.
Yeah.
Dude, they were a little tiny force that was contained, and the propaganda was thrown out, and our military did not attack them. That was the CIA, the FBI. That was the Secret Service. That was not our military.
That's
and
not
they
true.
Were all lied to. The entire American public was lied to because they were standing alone. That's why I tell people, you can't run off the grid and hide. Look what happened there. That should be a lesson to learn from, not be afraid of the government from. Don't make the same mistake and think, oh, we got to do our little town here and a little bit here. We can do it if we just do it in a little thing, because they tried that little.
Well, then that makes. Sorry, I just interrupted you. Sorry, Don. Go ahead and finish.
Waco, Texas should be a learning thing from you, not a fear-mongering thing. Look at how they did it.
You're a crazy son of a bitch, man.
No, I'm just pointing out the facts. Why
no, you just take my argument, adopt it as your own, flip it on me, and try and use it against me. You're crazy.
I didn't mean to offend you. You see, no matter how
I didn't get offended, you just flipped my shit around on me and spun it back at me. Listen.
All I said, we should learn from it, not make that mistake when we stand up against the government, not stand alone.
I have learned from it. I have learned from it. I have learned the dangers of a standing army with guns pointed in, sir. I've learned the dangers.
You know what scares me on the 20th coming up? This is what scares me about the 20th coming up. They're making the same mistake. They're going in there thinking that they're going to stand against the government, and yet the government, the sheriffs and the standing militias that have been here, and they doing what they're supposed to be doing as a militia, okay, are controlled opposition. They're following their lead. So are they walking into a trap? I don't want to see them just get pulled into concentration camps right there and then. And that's the end of America, by the way. Once they hit that there and get away with it, they go across the entire United States. Donald Trump's already declared it. It's already been declared he's going to do it with this force. He's hiring Americans to do it because they're desperate for food, because they control the resource. So they're going to take that job to stick Americans in reunification centers.
I don't see how they're so desperate for food. It's not that hard to go grow your own fucking shit. That's where the economy's kind of gone bad there.
Back to that. Everybody is not capable of growing their own shit. Go live in a city, get inside an apartment, and understand there are millions of people right there in that situation. Millions in that little city, in every city. Any apartment building.
Okay, I live in a little bit of a city. I pay $8.50 a month for rent plus utilities, and we're doing better here than we did in Oklahoma.
Okay, the point is, it's a beautiful concept. You get self-efficient. Okay, it's a beautiful concept, but not feasible for mankind, for a self-sustaining person. But understand, this army coming through, you're going to be sitting there like Waco, Texas. You will be Waco, Texas, in your little paradise. It's about learning from these incidences, not being, letting them twist it. You know what I'm trying to, dude, I didn't mean to offend you, man. I was just pointing out the facts, and you got offended, and I'm sorry.
No, it's not that. I didn't get offended. It's that you were saying that I didn't learn from Waco, but I was pointing out that I learned from Waco. You see what I mean?
What I learned from Waco is that we can't set up a little community. We have to stand up, take control of this country. We have to exercise the Second Amendment as a total collective and take control of our country. And look, I know you're part of this thing that's going to happen in Virginia on the 20th, and I just gave you a warning. Be careful. Be careful. It might be a trap. Okay?
Oh, there ain't no might be about it.
I'll go.
It's definitely a trap. It's definitely a trap. It's Lexington and Concord. It's probably going to end up the second shot heard around the world. But does that mean that we don't go?
No, that means that you go with the right intention, and well-regulated, and do not let the sheriff or the head of the militia, okay, dictate how you act and what happens when you go there. You keep vigilant. You stay on top of what's going on. Make sure everybody there is vigilant that those two entities are not to take control, because the people in control of those two entities are the enemy. That's the mistake.
Take that shit live all over Facebook.
Permission to speak freely. Permission to speak freely.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Okay. Regarding the initiatives in Virginia, what you have to understand is there are a lot of external forces that are moving, and they're not subordinating to anybody. South Carolina is completely coming in there and doing their own thing. People from Virginia have told me that they're not cooperating with them at all whatsoever. I said, well, if that being the case, people of South Carolina should be viewed as a foreign invading army. If they're not coming here, if they're not coming there to support,
hey, don't interrupt them.
If they're not coming there to support Virginians in Virginians' pursuit to exercise Virginians' voice in their government, they are acting on their own initiative and therefore ego-driven and need driven the fuck off of the land.
Okay, this is my point. Maybe they're being told, you're going to listen to our sheriff and you're going to follow our rules. We're not coming here to fight for freedom. We're coming here just to fight for the Second Amendment. Then we're going to walk away when we win the Second Amendment. And they're like, wait a minute, we can establish 100% freedom across the entire nation if we just take advantage of them drawing first blood right now and forcing us to stand up. And they don't want to follow their enemies and be under their enemies' rule in the course of combat. They want to do it the right way. I mean, I can't say that they're an enemy. They're coming there to support, okay, your freedoms, to stand next to you and fight for your freedom. But now Virginia is controlled by the sheriffs. So they are not there, the sheriffs, for the right purpose. They're not there for our freedoms.
First of all, to address that, any constitutional Minuteman that I'm aware of or associate with, we don't submit to criminal law enforcement. We don't do that. It's just not, it's
all
not
law enforcement is criminal right now, though. You know that, right?
You want one of those? They're at Gadsden and Culpeper.
No, I mean, they're hired to enforce laws of tyranny that are not just and they're acts of domestic terrorism and extortion. So there's no just law enforcement in America because of what they're hired to enforce makes them domestic terrorists, even though they're good people. I'm not saying they're not, but they took a job to extort the American people and to keep us under these laws that are terrorism.
What you just said in all those words is what I said with a few of them. Constitutional militiamen do not submit to criminal law enforcement, sir. They don't subordinate.
I get that. But now you are a constitutional militiaman, but you're reading off the enemy's constitution.
No, I'm not.
The original.
No, I'm not, and I'm not reading. I'm not reading anything. When I land on the ground of Virginia, the only thing I'm reading is what goes on around me. And my job and mission there are to defend as many of the lives that are not able to defend themselves as I can, sir. That's my job, to serve the people. If I have to emergency evac gunshot wounded people, if I have to open up a line of travel so they can get out of there, whatever I have to do, I am there in support of the people to conduct operations in support of the people.
You know, not one person should be shot during this action if it's done right. Okay.
That may not be in order.
Even if it's done right, you still have the people that are going to shoot you regardless.
That may not be in our hands, sir. That's not a decision.
No, I do understand that. I do understand that.
I am a defensive, reactionary force acting on behalf of the safety of the people, sir.
No, I fully understand that. Okay. But now, the object is to do this without firing a shot. Okay? Now, to do that, you have to have but the object, I'm not saying it's going to happen. The objective, to do it without firing a shot. Okay? Know who your enemy is. Don't argue with your ally. Your enemy is your government, no one else. Every American citizen there is your ally. So don't argue with them, because you don't need inner conflict.
Right?
Go ahead. Agree on that? And we need as many of our allies there as possible, because we have one enemy, it is our government.
Here's the thing, and this is what I can't get you to understand. From what I'm reading and the intel reports I'm getting, there's a heavy federal presence. You can tell they're feds because they move in two-man teams, and you can pretty much tell a fed a mile away. Now, there's something different that's showing up down there, and it's in mass abundance. And it's alarming because they're moving in teams of 3 to 7. And they're identified as possibly being European in their origin because of the way they dress and certain physical features they possess. Now, this is alarming because if that being the case, the feds are observing these people moving around. These people are observing the feds moving around, but neither one of them are engaging each other or raising a stink about the other being there.
Well, you know, they're allies. Those are allies.
I understand,
those are two allies.
sir.
Okay.
I understand where they correlate. I get it. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. I have bodies of American people coming from all the far reaches of the continental United States to protest their Second Amendment rights. Then I have bodies that are being paid that work for the same people that those two bodies we previously established in 2 or 3 to 7 man teams, or women. They have utilized female personalities as well. Now, if these bodies are being thrust all into the same place, our responsibility is to reveal to the public, look, we've observed barricades being put into public storage units here. You should watch that area because it's realistic that that could be roped off. It's our responsibility to convey that to the people on the ground. Now,
can I point something out that you said? You're organizing for to do a wow, I lost the word because I waited so long to get back in. You said it at the beginning too. A protest. Protest was the word. You're planning a protest?
Who? I'm not planning anything, man. None of this shit's my plan, dude. What's wrong with you, man?
You said we're organizing a protest.
I didn't say anything about we or organizing a protest or any of that. Don't put words in my mouth. I
You know this is recorded, brother.
We are there as a supporting force. That's what I said. I didn't say we were organizing. I didn't arrange the protest. It's not mine. It's not mine.
But you understand this to be a protest is my point.
I understand it to originally be the traditional lobby day for VCDL. The people that lobby every year on January 20th, it's been their yearly tradition. That's what this is. Because of the implemented laws, it's gotten to be bigger this year than ever before. It's not my thing.
Okay, you see, what it's supposed to be in my mind is the people uniting to exercise the Second Amendment to take control of their country to get these tyrants from control over their lives of the slavery that we are in. I don't see a protest.
But you didn't organize anything over there, so in your mind isn't being asserted. They have organized and collected people to move, and that's what they're doing.
Okay, now my point is here, the information you are gathering, where you are getting it from, and where they're directing you to focus on, and your focus in this. Dude, I'm not criticizing, it's conversation. It's conversation.
How much intel do you got?
I got a lot, man. Man,
why aren't you talking about it?
Everybody going over
why aren't you talking about it? Are you an enemy? Are you an enemy of
wait.
Are you an enemy of the people?
No, I'm afraid for the people going over there because I see it as a trap.
If you have all this intel, then why are you not revealing to them where they could be entrapped? Why are you not telling them where they could trip up? Why are you not revealing this stuff?
And I thought I just did. Why are you accusing me of doing something that I just did that I didn't do it? And I've done it over and over.
You have a lot of intel. I'm talking about real life intel. I'm talking about
real week now. I've been telling the same thing for a week, and you're accusing me of not doing it. Because look, man, it's a conversation, bro. That's all it is. Don't get upset. All we can do is learn more information and more intel. I'm learning intel. I'm understanding your narrative. Look, first thing is, early on, we were talking about
my narrative.
Okay,
my narrative?
Oh my God, it's not personal, please. Please.
You're using triggering words and you're expecting me not to get upset. You're using the same words that the propaganda machines use and you're expecting me not to get upset. And you're accusing people of using these words, but you yourself do it.
Okay, can I say, Spike? I'm not even going to address that because I'm going to speak about what I was going to say. Okay. Anything done in secrecy has ulterior motives, and people in secrecy, sometimes they're in the meetings, don't know the ulterior motives, but are motivated towards that ulterior motive without knowing it. So anything, if you're doing something in secret, there is an ulterior evil motive behind it. Anything true and honest will not need to be done in secrecy, will not be done in secrecy, and has no reason to be done in secrecy.
What are you accusing of being done in secrecy, sir? What is it that you're saying?
I made a statement. So people would understand.
About what?
About the evils of secrecy of the people. If somebody is claiming, if somebody is claiming to be there for the better good of the people of the collective of America, but doing it with an ulterior secret motive,
lost my cup of coffee, Dustin.
Then they're not there. They're there for their secret ulterior motive, claiming to be there for the people. Because you wouldn't have a secret motive if
who has it? I want to know what the secret motive is. I gotta hear this. What is your secret motive, sir?
I speak openly everything. I do nothing in secrecy.
No, nothing. But what are you speaking of particularly when you bring that shit up? What secret motive are you alleging is at hand here? or are you just speaking in
I'm not here to
generalization?
accuse nobody of nothing. I'm just here to bring out the truth, information, and wake up people to what to look out for and what not to fall into and not to accept.
That's a
all I'm bringing
redundant collection of
anybody
words.
of anything.
That's a redundant collection of words. That's not conversation.
Would you like me to just sit here and actually make accusations? Would that make
No,
you
I would
feel
like
better?
you. I would like you to actually talk about topics, address them directly, not speak in circles, and go directly at the source of what you're talking about, sir. That's what I would like.
Okay. The militias that are standing in these states, they are organizing and having secret meetings, and they are not informing the public of what their true intentions are. There you go.
Okay, well, I can't be accused of that because I firmly just announced to the public and have been for the last few weeks that we, guys like me, will be there in support of you in case you start getting shot at. We're going to try and help you get the fuck out of there.
Can I ask a simple question now? Did you or did you not have a secret meeting at 7 o'clock today till 10 o'clock or 8 o'clock till 10?
A what?
Did you not have a private secret meeting with the heads of the militias from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time today or yesterday?
No, I did not. That's
No,
not
wrong information.
No, I did not. Yes, you got me. Here, let me clean you up since you're so fucked up. I got you. What I had this evening was a national. What I had.
Hold my hand. I'll call it.
Okay.
I'll put it out there.
Okay, I'll put it out there for you. I just became the president of the National 3% chapter on Facebook, which is a fucking Facebook group, nothing more. Now, in becoming the president, I've decided that this unity of people are going to be ran and governed by the Constitution. They have not been governed by the Constitution to date. Therefore, we have to have status meetings to see where we stand in becoming a constitutional body.
Can I be a fly on the wall in those meetings and I will not speak up?
You cannot, because you are not a participant in the room and you are viewed as a foreign entity because you are not a participant in the room.
I rest my case, secret meetings. Now, the point is, you are trying to enforce a constitution. Wait, you are trying to enforce a constitution that is not constitutional. Now, and you're having secret meetings to do this, and nobody's allowed to know what you're doing in there. Now, you just exposed exactly what I was saying, and then you admitted that you are doing it, and you are not, and it is in secret, and you're saying it's not. And then you're going to come at me because I just called it out because you forced me to call it out on you.
What?
I have no clue where he just did that.
No, because I kicked him off his hour. Took him out of his hour.
Everybody with knowledge knows exactly what I just said.
I'm gonna drop the mic is what I'm gonna do. I gotta do some work because I actually do that. I got a job and shit.
I was in on that meeting. I'm part of the judiciary in that meeting. It's not necessarily a secret meeting because what we do, we put out into the public. What we do is we convene amongst each other to find a more perfect way to go about it. We're trying to get it to a position to where it's fair for all. It's not necessarily that it's secret and that it is kept in secret.
Exactly.
Okay, I asked you know about it in that meeting before it took place.
The reason why you know about it is because I was polite enough to you.
It's not about a fight here. It's not about a fight. I'm just stating a fact.
No, I thought you were fact.
I was told
It was just
no.
rude. It was rude.
I was told no.
I was told right because I was
you tell the American citizen that you're claiming to protect in this secret meeting that they can't listen in. There is something going on in there that you don't want nobody to hear.
No, it was on behalf of. It wasn't my choice. It wasn't my ordeal.
It's not the point. It's not the point.
No. You just pissed me off because I was honest. Sorry, guys. I had to do it. I can't take it anymore. That was rude. I told him
that was very rude.
He's gonna use it against me. I don't think so. Sorry.
Don't apologize. You're the head of this group. That's what I think.
I was kind of doing something else, but yeah, then I heard that. And I'm like, what the hell?
No, I had to go hook up a trailer. I'm sorry.
Here it comes back.
Ooh.
I want a hat just like yours, Barry.
Let me apologize to Sarah. It wasn't about you. No, I never even mentioned your name. It wasn't about you. It was the principle of the whole thing. The knowledge that people need to hear.
But that's not the kind of meeting it was, and I told you that when you asked me if you could be a fly on the wall. I said it wasn't my meeting for you to do that with. You're not making a point. You're using a stupid name.
Can I clear up for John why he sounds crazy?
I was forced to bring out those narratives because he forced me to, not by volunteering it.
Let me clean up. Let me clean up.
But you weren't forced to do that.
Let me clean
up. You
up.
did it on your own accord, and you do it a lot.
Let me clean up.
I brought you the truth, and now I'm the bad guy. Hey, let's get Julia Assange for exposing the truth, corruption of the government. He's the bad guy. Here I am, the bad guy. I expose the truth.
Wow, you're a crazy motherfucker is what you are. But here, check this out for your narratives.
I look at relevance of stories.
Okay.
And I love that this man is sitting here and listening to everything.
Please shut up.
I'm teaching people how to operate under the original 13th Amendment Constitution. When you are an outside member of the group, you are considered a foreign body. I never told you you weren't welcome to become a member of the group. I never said that. I just said you are not allowed to sit in on the conference meetings on how we are coming along and getting back to constitutionality. That's all I said. You're not in that hierarchy. You haven't earned the right to be in that hierarchy. The men and women that are in that hierarchy are there for a reason. And that's not gonna change because John Sohn walked in the room.
Let me point this out. Now I let you speak. Because they accept the new constitution given to us by this terrorist organization and they're going to enforce it.
Jesus Christ. Man, will you drop that crazy shit? Because you sound like a raving lunatic.
Is here. The leaders of our militia are our enemy because they're pushing what they're pushing. And the ones that recognize that actually are about the Americans. Okay?
You aren't pushing anything. You aren't pushing anything. You don't even have a following, dog. Nobody shows up in support of you anywhere. Nobody's even showing. Come on, man. Don't make me call it out. You're making yourself look like the good guy. You're making yourself try to look like the good guy because you're one of the oddest sons of a bitches out here. And you're trying to make that like we're all the bad guys because you're so fucking crazy.
Who's we?
Come on, dude. And everybody's telling you this shit on a fucking nightly basis. Every time I come into this redundant string of words, it revolves around the same shit. John Stone is trying to control the narrative, and nobody else has the right answer.
Everybody swears to that new constitution that the government has the right to do what they're doing.
I don't have anything to do with that shit. I don't even acknowledge anything past the 14th Amendment. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, sir.
The entire Constitution has been replaced.
It's not the entire Constitution hasn't been replaced. It's been added to and subverted by those additions that were illegally inserted. It hasn't been doubled. It hasn't been multiplied. All it's been is revised and added to, and you accept that shit, not me. That's why I teach people how to live under the real organic one. You're crazier than shit.
You don't know the real organic one. This man just finished telling you, yes, that used to be in the Constitution. How come it's not there right now? And he didn't even notice it until I pointed it out. And that's why I love talking to people like him, because they have the knowledge in the head of the past. They're not
what you are citing as the old Constitution is actually found in the preamble, sir. I'm just not going to point it out.
No, the preamble is still the preamble. They didn't change the preamble. It's still the preamble.
The arrangement of words, that you are describing is found in the fucking preamble now. Even in this Constitution, you jackass.
It is not. It is not.
Okay.
The fact that it was not allowed to be altered, that document or added to.
I
by
got to
the
get ready to
government.
drive anyway. This guy's impossible.
Okay, hey, Barry.
It's
Now,
impossible.
this is the reason, people. Okay, well, now let me speak for a
Oh,
minute.
The reason is you can bring statistics.
John, you done.
Let me do a little speak.
Bring statistics.
People
You
here
bring
besides
knowledge.
Let me do a little.
John is proving the point. You can bring statistics and you can bring knowledge, and these sons of bitches won't accept it regardless of what you do.
Okay, let me now do a little speech like everybody else does and stop trying.
Hey, John, how about you stop speaking for 2 seconds? Let someone else speak. You've been at it all night for about 2.5 fucking hours. Enough's enough. Quit being so damn.
Have I really? Have I
Stop
really?
being childish.
Have I really been at it for 2 hours speaking?
Yeah, you have. It's 2:29. Your mouth been flapping for 2 fucking hours. Give it a break.
Why do you lie like that? If you don't mind me asking. Why do you just outright? There's a video there to watch.
Hey,
it's all been
rotate.
recorded.
Rotate.
So now you just lied outright to everybody.
John,
and don't care.
be gone. Be gone.
Be gone. You don't care.
Just be fucking gone. Be gone.
Okay. Now, may I say what I was going to say?
No, damn it. That's the problem. You won't shut the fuck up. Shut up.
All I did was point out narrative.
Jesus fucking
Truth.
Christ. I've heard you for 2 fucking hours. I've been sitting here listening. Let someone else speak. Damn, learn something for a change, son. You can't learn if your mouth is running. Take some old wisdom.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God.
I apologize for breaking character, folks, but please, somebody take the floor. Somebody.
Professor,
Space is fake.
whoever this number is from 918, you can talk. I don't ever hear you say anything. I know that's a 918 number from Oklahoma.
Hey, Josh. John, you there?
I'm here, man. I'm not speaking because, hey, okay. I shut up.
Listen. I'm not trying to beat you down, brother. I'm not trying
to beat you down either, man. You got to understand. I want to be on the same side you want to be on. I just feel you're miseducated and misled, and I'm trying to wake you up to that. And it's not to offend you. It's not to discredit you in any way, shape, or form. It's just to try to bring you information that is not being brought to you. That's all I'm trying to do.
I'm very, very studied in what you're trying to bring. I'm very studied in the subject, and my knowledge is not that of a school or a college that I paid a lot of money for. It's self-taught.
Okay, but the point is, and this is the whole point of the whole thing. It's very simple. If you're studying the Constitution that's out there today, and not the one that has been erased from history already, because it has been erased, okay? If you're studying that Constitution, you're being misled and lied to by, and you got to understand that one thing, that is not the Constitution. That is not what America was founded under. And once you figure that out, man, are you going to go in a different direction really quick? But the same course, you want the same outcome, but you'll do it a different way because you'll realize, oh my God, that's right. Holy shit, was I messed up? And I believe you have all the best intentions in mind. I believe that you truly believe you are a patriot for the people, but you're misled by that Constitution. That's all I'm trying to point out to you. It's not the real one. This man right here, the professor, he admitted, because he has a memory that remembers things from the past that are important, like I do. And that original Constitution is the most important thing. That's what it's all based around. The original.
Let me throw something in there with that, brother, and both of you. I want to, and I mean this in all fucking seriousness. Who remembers Nelson Mandela dying in prison?
I heard about it.
Your voice a little bit. I can hardly hear you.
Sorry, Sorry,
Mike is bad.
Who? And I had my finger over it. I was holding my phone wrong.
Okay, go ahead.
Who here, in all fucking seriousness, this topic is very real to me because I remember these things. I've seen evidence. I've held it in my hand. Who here remembers Nelson Mandela dying in prison?
Is that the man?
I only
from
remember hearing about it, but I don't know much about it because I don't know much.
When Haile Selassie died.
Okay. The Mandela effect. Curious George having a tail. The Bernstein Bears versus the Bernstein Bears. There are things in our realities, and this is along the lines of conspiracy theory dots to connect if you want to go there. The CERN, when they first fired that fucker up, fractured something. Now, whatever this is, and this you can even tie in religion into this, into free will. Here's my thoughts on free will. If you have an omnipotent being, omniscience, true omniscience, okay, you know the end of the story. You know how it's all written. If it's written already and your choices have been made and they're written, you don't have free will. Or you don't have a truly omniscient being, omnipotent being, excuse me. Okay? This is where I'm going with this. Potentially both of those can be true at the same time. If we, in our genius, created a way to fracture the realities and intermingle them. I remember reading and hearing about Nelson Mandela dying in school. They fucking put it on the TV. Okay? I remember that. I remember that shit. I remember the Bernstein Bears versus the Bernstein Bears versus the Bernstein Bears. I remember that shit. Okay? The original Constitution may be one of those topics, one of those subjects, one of those things. One of those, like this reality and that reality, that is the only difference. Does that make sense?
I'm trying to follow you.
I don't fully understand it, but it kind of makes sense.
It's very hard to hear. I had the phone in my ear.
In the terms of reality, of religion, and that being, knowing every decision that we could ever possibly make. Think about it in terms of the fractured realities. Infinite, there is no end. Realities, every choice we make. The knot snapping happened in a reality. It's a blue gate bridge, not a golden gate bridge in one. You ever watch the show Sliders? Perfect example about it. Okay? I'm not saying that's factual.
It's kind of like the future, knowing the future and the outcome. And they have algorithms and they say they can see the future. And no matter what decision we make, they say that we're coming out with the same outcome in the future. We can't alter the future of humanity. It's going to be destroyed.
Right. I kind of agree, but I kind of disagree with that, only because some people that have these abilities, as you would say, do have those abilities on the fact that sometimes you can stop it, but sometimes you can't. Some of them get those abilities to try and stop something that's going to happen.
Okay, I think what he's the destined future of humanity. Now they have an algorithm. Now this is way up in the academic field and what they're doing with government and everything. And no matter what decisions they try to put in the computer, the outcome in the long run is the same. But the thing is that why I don't believe that it is that is because they've entered information they refuse to retract. The fact that they implemented 5G already gives us our predetermined future. Once that is on, the world will die. Plant will die, life will die. And yes, no matter what decision we make, if we leave that turned on, the outcome at the end is the same. But now, take that out of the equation and decisions start changing things. So the implementation of 5G, the geoengineering of the planet, have what already set a course that we are not going to survive. And we can only stop those two weapons and others like it by taking control of the people deploying it. That's why we have to take control.
Right.
Because no matter what we do, if we don't take control, the outcome at the end is the same. We're all dead. The life on this planet is dead. They're basically
there's actual or not sanctuaries, places where you can hide when that happens.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
That's the thing you don't understand. Species. You don't understand the impact of it. Go ahead.
One species has to die.
One species. Bees. Bees disappear, we disappear. Bees pollinate. Bees are the pollinators. Bees produce our food. Without bees, we don't survive. Period. End of story.
Oh, you know, it goes even worse than that.
Insects.
Hey, you know, it gets worse than that. 5G won't let plant life grow.
Right. Now,
it won't let the plant life grow. So it's worse than just the bees.
Right. No, I understand that. I understand that. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. If you want to bring it down and simplify it into the most simplest of.
No, yeah. Bees would hurt us. But I think there's other animals, other
John, please stop interrupting and let him finish.
Stop interrupting.
There are other insects that pollinate, but not as efficiently as bees. Bees go pop right across,
John a question
all day long, and they go from flower to flower to flower to flower to flower.
Right. No, granted, true. You know, butterflies. There are multiple species that do that, but the most prominent are bees. Without bees, there aren't enough of the others to do the efficient of a job.
Correct.
To sustain life. Okay. Now the only
that's 100% correct.
The only reason that I bring this topic up, is because I'm beginning to feel and believe myself that both of you are correct, and this may be one of those topics, specifically because we can't find it anywhere. The original, you can't find the incorrect spelling of Bernstein. You can't find a fucking something creeping up on my porch. You can't find.
It's probably
they're coming to take you away. You're going to Guantanamo, buddy.
Right. You can't find a copy of Curious George with a tail. I remember Curious George with a tail. Okay. There are things. I remember Mandela dying in prison. There are things that have happened that I vividly remember, that there are numbers, large numbers of people that remember that you cannot find evidence of. The only reason that I'm bringing this up is because, honestly, now I'm beginning to think that may be one of
them. Let me ask.
There's also The Cat in the Hat. A lot of his books have been altered.
Right.
Let me ask John.
Everything's altered now.
Hey, John.
Go ahead, sir.
I have a direct question. So November 2nd, 2020, right?
Not any longer, dude. They jumped the gun. We're gonna have to do something now because of what's happening with this UN troops about to disarm us all. So November 11 is no longer an option. I was trying to organize the United States to act at one.
After you organized, what were you going to rest on if it were successful?
On the fact that we are already self-efficient. We all keep doing our jobs, keep our infrastructure, keep our military. We provide the food, the water, the shelter for the people. In return, instead of being asked to slave labor, you get whatever you want. We just do a little bit. Everybody works towards a collective of us prospering to provide for the people welfare, not to extort. We will no longer have police. And look, it's not a matter for money. You do it, a 10-hour thing. Everybody does a little part. 10 hours a day. We produce more than we could ever use. We would share resources like.
John, that wasn't the question.
Yeah, it was the question.
You asked him what grounds would he arrest on.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's answering.
Hold on, let him finish. Okay. Whoa. Come on.
I mean, that's a very interesting question.
Let John finish.
Okay, you're talking. He just asked me a question on how we run this country after we take control. It is a big question to answer. I can't answer it in one sentence because I will address every little intricate part of our civilization because I have thought it through that much.
Then
But
answer
it's
the
a
question.
big question to answer,
All right,
man.
go ahead. Hold on.
What's-
Let him finish what he's
what's
trying
the
to get
law
to
you're
first
gonna
before you
answer
ask
me?
that question. Go ahead, John.
Okay, well, the thing is, mostly I already have said it in ways I'm trying to get people to think that we are self-efficient already. We have to let the monetary and the bartering system and that mentality that has been brainwashed into us go. And then work as a collective where we each do our little part. And like, for instance, people love their boats. I'm from Miami, so it's a lot of boats. But you know how hard it is to keep a boat? You use it 3 times a year. You gotta wash it. And when you go to use it the next year, you have to go work on the engine because it's all froze up. It's always a problem. It's more problem than it is convenience to have it. But if we had a collective and the boats were at the marina and taken care of by another group of people that actually take care of the boats and provide us with that industry, and when you wanted to ride the boat, you just go to the marina and say, I want to check that boat out right there. And look, it's maintained 100%. It's in full tank of gas. You go out on it, you bring it back, you clean up your little mess that you made in it, and you return the boat. And now everybody in America owns any boat they want on the time they want to go boating or fishing in the ocean or fishing in a lake. Well, I don't think we should have motorboats on lakes because it pollutes the lakes. That's just my personal opinion. You know, we could do electric boats on lakes maybe, but not these polluting ones, because lakes are, and I don't know that we even want them in the ocean anymore. Once we get that far, we can do everything to where we can produce it to where it doesn't poison our environment, because we'd be working as a collective, not for profit, towards the betterment of mankind. We would switch all our industries instead of for profit. What's the best? Now, I mean, it's a lot to answer, but we can do it. I have faith in humanity if we turn it 180 at one day, because we can't do it slowly. It can't be done because the people in charge are in charge, in control. We have to take control and then the next day just implement it. And just everybody keep going to work, keep doing your job, keep providing. All you guys that had jobs that were for extortion, for oppression, for the corporation, for the machine that we're getting rid of, now go to these industries and start working there to provide. No one's going to be told that you have to work 40 hours a week because there's going to be too many people to work. There's not enough work for that. Choose the profession you want. Well, there'll be a hotline. Go to this place. You're not going there to apply for a job and hope you get it. You're going to go there to be trained, or if you already know, to actually do the job. They cut out all the bureaucracy of all the paperwork in the world and actually be a productive race. And everybody will prosper. We'll all live like kings. The only thing we're going to lose is our maid service. For people that are capable of taking care of themselves, they won't have a maid service. But now people that are elderly and can't take care of themselves, we're going to have to take care of them. We are humane. We will have a medical industry. We will have where we take care of people. A lot of people are going to want to go into that field because it's highly respected, and that's a dream that people are born with.
So can I sum that up? Can I sum that up in a couple words?
I could go on for hours on that.
I know, I got you. Can I sum that up in a couple of words?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
You want a socialist utopia.
I want not anything that they educated you on in the education system that mongers you into this is not good, it doesn't work. Because all they ever taught you was there is somebody in control and you are all slaves. We decide what you get. No government. Direct democracy, not democracy, direct democracy as it is prescribed in the description of the direct democracy, which is not what anybody is educated in unless they go research direct democracy and get the proper definition. No government. Basically anarchy, and it's law, it's order, and it is fair for everybody, and it's not violence. There's no violence in that world. It's gone. There's no reason for the violence.
Okay, but question, that would probably last for a little bit, but then you still got, I understand about the no violence in the world, but you're still going to have to worry about certain things. Like maybe possible sexual assaults on people, even with guns, murder. I mean, how are you going to sit there and work with things like that, because that's still stuff you're going to have to worry about.
Look, murder is not going to be an issue. Okay, we have a lot of murder here. There are countries that have murder once every 10 years. There's a murder in the country. Every 6 years. There's one murder every 10 to 6 years in that country. Why? Because
what country?
I don't know. There's been quite a bit of murder here lately. But my question is, how are you going to deal with things like that when it happens?
No, what country specifically has one murder in every 10 years? I just need to know.
Look, you don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it. I think it was Finland. I'm not sure. It might have been Iceland. It might have been the other one.
Greenland.
Don't quote me on that. That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant at the moment. At the moment, it's okay. If somebody wants to research it, they'll find it really fast. Now, let me point this out. In my utopia, let's give it a name, just out of the blue, and don't go research.
Socialist utopia.
No, not socialism. Not socialism. Please do not
that's what you were just describing.
my idea with your education that is actually the dumbing down of the human mind. Don't pervert what I'm saying with that, please. Please, I'm begging you. It's not helping. It doesn't help. Okay, I'm begging. Don't label it. I can't even label it because they perverted every word in the human language. I might as well call it, hey, the Utah blah, blah, way of living, the new government form, because they perverted every word that you could use to describe it.
Okay, well, let's call it the human beehive. Let's call it the human beehive.
Here's
I like that. That's where we could go. Oh, wait. Let me address her question, and then
hold on, John. Go ahead, Josh.
That's the question. You haven't let me answer the first question you gave. Now you want to bring more. Okay, murder. In this world, everybody is a police officer. Everybody is responsible for making sure that their neighbors are safe. Everybody, not somebody giving power over everybody. We're all equal. That's the point. And then you have a good society. Go ahead, Professor. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, it's the isolated tribes in the Amazon, that isolated tribe on the island. They don't have a government. Now they may have a hierarchy, but they have a system that works. Everybody
going to I know it's here at Randall.
Okay.
Yep.
I think he's talking to somebody else who doesn't realize he's not muted. Barry, you want to mute that so he can speak?
It's all
Unless
good,
you're
man.
talking to us.
I think he froze.
Yeah, I think he froze and he's on the phone or something. It's all
I
good.
don't want to be the one to mute him.
And whenever anybody brings up the word utopia, utopia is perfection, absolute and total perfection. And again, more perfect is the best that we're going to be able to come up with, because we're all human. Because there's going to be that one guy that wants to murder. There's going to be that one guy that wants that fucking flag on your back wall right there. Those
exactly. That's what my question kind of sort of was, like, how do we deal with that? I mean, there's not going to be perfect.
By continuously,
those situations will be handled individually, just like the way that the Supreme Court is supposed to work. They are not rulings. They are opinions specific to the case. Just because fucking Terry v. Ohio, Terry stops, does not mean that Terry v. Ohio applies to me in every fucking aspect, because the details of this specific case are not the exact same as Terry v. Ohio. Okay? So those individual situations of murder, of theft, of rape, of incest, of whatever are contrary to the greater good will be handled individually. Okay? Now, utopia is a perfect society. Not going to happen. All right? Not going to happen until until one thing happens, until greed is eliminated. Pure and simple. Because greed is what brings all of the negativity. I want more. I want what you have.
Okay, now that's the point.
Of what you have.
Wait, that's the point of not having a monetary value. Everybody gets everything equally and can have anything they want. Then you won't have greed anymore. That eliminates greed completely. Okay. Now, say he wants a bigger house than I have. Well, let him have it. He's got to clean that house. He can't get a maid service in there because he can't pay nobody to do it. So, okay, now you just enslaved yourself to cleaning your house all the time because you wanted a giant mansion. Then you'll realize, wait a minute, I'd live more happier, have a lot more free time if I wasn't cleaning my house 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
So it would work itself out. And it would, once we start moving to a utopia, actually doing it, we would slowly get it better and better and better and better on its own. And we would do better machinery that would do the work for us. Everything, instead of working to the destruction on all our technology and controlling, it would be for a better society, to make life better for all of us as a collective, as a beehive, as he said, which is, I guess we could call that, that would be good. They work as a collective and they are very productive for that reason.
But yeah, right. But the idea that it cannot happen is a false statement, because it exists currently, and it exists because the current civilized society hasn't touched it.
Hey, it exists in my mind, and I can make it happen. I can. I'm a thing. I can't. People that say, well, we can't do that. Well, you can't because you already decided you can't. But I can because I decided I can. Right. There are a lot of people out there that can't. And then you can't. If we ever stood up, the cans stood together, those are just sheep. They would follow along and say, yeah, I knew we could do this all along. At the end of it, they're going to say, this is what I was always trying to fight for, even though they were fighting against it. And it's all right. The thing is to get there. I don't care how we get there. I do care. I want it to be peaceful. I don't want it to be a war. I don't want us to be bloodshed. I want us to stand in a strong enough number, together, to where the opposition will just stand down. Right. That's why I was doing the November 2nd, 2020. I started a year and a half in advance. There was a reason I picked that date, but enough to get the ear in every American so that all the ones, yes, we can, could stand on that day and the rest would just follow us and we'd have it. We'd have it. But look, they came ahead of time. They started this. They're going to disarm all of Americans. Once they do, look at the videos of France for the last year. I just reshared some from last year or 2 years that were there, and look at what they're going through. That's what we will be going through. We won't be able to stand up against this entity because we won't have the ability anymore. Once we lose our guns, we don't have the ability to ever create that utopia, or as close as we can get to it.
Right.
So wait a minute. Once we lose the guns we're not allowed to use,
we'll lose the ability. We'll lose the ability to take control away from the people in control today in the world.
Yeah, but I mean, what good are the
guns? Still have guns, but they still have cannons and shit. Where the fuck? I mean, we should be able to fix that stuff.
I don't know if you all read the laws that they're proposing, but you're not even going to be allowed to practice martial arts. You're not going to be able to train with a firearm. You're not going to be able to do nothing to defense. You're going to have to be a person that when somebody attacks you, all you can do is curl up in a ball and let them beat on you. That's all they want in society. When we come, you bow, you get down, and you just take whatever we're giving you and we're doing to you. I mean, it's horrible. It's scary. It's terrible scary if you understand the writing and what's going on. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm worried about the people going to Virginia because they're being controlled by an oppositional narrative. And it's like they might be walking into a trap. And I don't want to see the people that are willing to stand up for the freedom of this country walk into a trap and be the first ones to be put inside of a concentration camp. I don't want to see that. Because then nobody else.
I don't want to have to see that either. But even if it does come to the, you're gonna lay down and take whatever we give to you, the fuck I will. At least I'd fucking die trying.
But the thing is,
there we go.
I don't care.
There we go.
I mean, I do care, but you know what I mean. I'm not gonna sit there and bend over backwards for somebody to do something.
I'd rather live on my feet than die on my knees. Yes, ma'am. Tell them. Tell these men how to act.
I concur with that. I'm not going to get on my knees.
And I can only say that, being a victim of certain things, but I can either choose to be a victim and stand right in the same fucking spot and just allow it to happen again, or I could do something about it. That's my point. I'm not gonna sit there and fucking take it. I don't deserve to. I shouldn't have to, and nobody else should.
I'm with you there.
So the question is, how do we get enough of the cans, enough of us to stand together to make it happen?
Okay, what I tried to do, and what they were talking about, my narrative for November 2nd, 2020.
Yeah, what is that?
Pass the word to the ear of every American so we all stand on that day. We don't have to have secret meetings. We don't have to do it in secrecy because we'll never get the word out to the people that need to hear it. Just get the word in every American's ear that that is the day that you don't have to sit there and submit and stay quiet and try to keep your family safe by not being noticed. That the day that you can stand up with the Americans and take control of our country back, not be a slave ever again. You know, and when people say we can do this through the law, well, you can't. It can't be done. If you're going to try to write it.
If you're going to claim
the thing
title,
is, you can do it. It's not really law in the first place.
But if you're going to claim the title,
peacefully, and I understand that, but you know, even trying to do it peacefully, no matter what, they're going to try and do what they're going to try and do.
That's why we have to stand at one
know,
time, one day, and take total control at that day.
About it, but at least be
You're
able to
muted,
fucking
Barry.
defend yourself.
Mute it. Barry, did you mute yourself?
Barry, you're
He must
muted.
have muted himself.
I think he's
Or somebody
gone.
muted him. I didn't.
I don't
wouldn't
even
do
see
that.
him.
I don't know if I have control anymore.
Nah,
I don't know.
he dipped out. He lost signal.
Oh, but look, when people tell you you can beat the system using the system, that is the slave mind mentality. That is all it is. You cannot. You will not. You get an illusion, just like the illusion of everything else they're giving you. That is an illusion, and I try to make that clear. And as long as we're in the system, we got no choice but to try if they're coming at us. If we have a battle at the moment with them. But like me, I don't have no battle with them right now, but I will give my knowledge of what I've learned to the people that are in battle. But I will not promote the battle in that manner. Like if you're dealing with the government an issue, I will tell you what I know to make your battle better. But I will not tell somebody not in battle, well, this is what we always have to do. No, that's only if necessary. You know? And you know, people that just promote law. We can beat it. Everybody learn this. Everybody work on this. Everybody do this. No, that is submitting to the will of being their slave. Willingly going in before even necessary and learning how to be a good submissive slave.
I never said anything about being a good submissive slave.
Oh no, I'm not talking about you at all. I'm talking about you know, all these people that, well, you got to learn the Law Black Dictionary. You got to learn this. You got to learn that. You got to learn this. You got to learn how to beat them at their own game. No, you don't. We can beat them at their own game with the Second Amendment, with the Bill of Rights, the First and Second Amendment. There is our instruction manual to wipe them out and eliminate this evil rule. It's an instruction manual. That's all it ever was for us. It wasn't nothing instruction. People argue that's instructions for the government. No, that's instructions for the American people. You know, and if you listen and read it, understand it, and just read the words for what they are, not for what they tell you they are, because they're common, simple words, common, simply understood, and in simple English. There is no hidden agenda behind them.
John,
they were written by us.
We've gone through this before.
I know we have.
Yep,
and you say I'm all wrong.
And we're still dealing with 2/3 of the population not being there because they're at work. Because they're at work. 2/3 of the population will be at work.
Okay. Now that right there, that narrative saying that on November 2nd, 2020, the day everybody knows to stand up, the ones that know that's the day, they're going to say, well, it wasn't convenient to me because I got to punch my clock right now.
That's right.
Nobody's going to do that. Nobody.
I watched him.
Miss that opportunity.
I watched a movie kind of sort of like that, but it was the newer version of Dukes of Hazzard, where they had to race the same day as this court thing because they were trying to avoid the fact of people standing up. I know it kind of doesn't exactly have anything to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's kind of sort of
the point is
the way a lot of these so-called laws got brought in, you know, when they don't have people to actually be there and stand up to it.
Clearly. I want to say this clearly. The point is, all these people are going to work because they know they don't have the power to change the system. The day they have the power, work is definitely the last thing on their mind. This is the day I change all this. I'm going out to change all this. Now, they're not going to say, well, since my slave master said I have to be at work, I'm not going to stand up on the day to get rid of my slave master.
Bull crap, John. They're going to work because they got bills.
Well, here, you know,
when you can eliminate the bills and the slave master, you're not going to do it to appease the slave and the slave master.
John, your voice doesn't reach that many people. It don't.
But all of ours could. Here's where I see his point going. France, Hong Kong. How many other nations have thousands of people and have had thousands of people standing shoulder to shoulder, throwing fucking bricks, going to the fucking schools and to the archery departments and using bows and arrows against the government because they don't have guns, but they're standing. They're gluing bricks to the street.
I'm down with all of that. I'm down with all that.
That's what I believe he's getting to. Is there are multiple nations right now where damn near all of the people are standing.
I put it out there every day, November 2nd, 2020.
I hate the fact they took the control away from me because right now I want to use it again.
Only thing is, I put this out here. I'm just a backup plan just in case November 2nd fizzles out. That's why I'm going head to head against Trump. Just in case November 2nd.
I'm sorry, but you haven't listened to the entire conversation because of the November 2nd.
God, all you do is talk.
It's been canceled.
It's 3:05 now, John. I stopped at 2:36 and you ran on for another half hour with nonstop.
Bro, it's been canceled. You're on the narrative that I've sat here, that I started that narrative and I canceled it. And yet you're still on that narrative. And I made it clear 3 times, 4 times, 6 times during this.
What narrative is that, John?
November 2nd, 2020.
What narrative am I on, John?
Okay, I'm not going to talk to you. I wish I could just mute you right now because the conversation was good, but you just keep bringing it.
Mute that, John.
I've been over and over with you, and you can't get it.
You've been over and over the same shit every time I see you.
I appreciate that you paraphrase my words at the wrong time, the right words, and you mix the conversation up. I appreciate that you paraphrase me.
John, you do not dictate the conversation,
John. A little bit smart that you can parrot what I say.
Don't dictate the conversation, John.
But it gets old, man. Please.
You don't dictate shit, John. It's called a constitution for a reason. Thank God you ain't the government. Jesus fucking Christ. They would have shot you weeks ago. Oh.
Sorry about that, man. Go ahead, Professor.
We're the vast majority of the people in this nation are stuck in a mindset because of the well-oiled machine that's in place at the moment. We're stuck in the mindset that we have to go to work. We're stuck in the mindset that we have to pay the bills. When there are perfect examples, granted, they're primitive. They are. They don't have the technology that we have. That was actually something next door. Anyway, I keep hearing shit running through the leaves. Anyway, we have examples of these systems that is being explained, working, and has worked, and is continuing to work. The issue is that we're stuck in a mindset because of the machine that is indoctrinating us into the mindset that we have to stay in the machine.
Yeah.
And the you know, because of the fluoride and because of the chemicals and because of the education that really isn't education, because it's, I mean, it's not. We're hell, fuck, man. How many did you go to? Did you have home ec? in
Yes.
school.
Yes.
They don't have it anymore.
I did shop, by the way.
Right. Well, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. It's those
Yes, of
sort of things. Even they don't even teach people how to fucking balance a checkbook now. And I know that checks are outdated, but the
they
principle.
do teach that part. That
What's
part
that?
they teach. They teach the balancing of the checkbook. They teach how to operate in government. They don't teach you a skill that is useful for survival. With the checkbook balancing is not really unless you want to survive under this system.
Right. The importance is placed on college education, and it's not placed on skill sets. It's not placed on the welders and the carpenters and the mechanics and the productive portion of it.
The
It's
actual people that run this country that are being extorted by the ones that are being praised as the ones running the country. The whole education system is backwards.
Yeah.
Exactly what you just said.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it is an absolute uphill battle, and it's one that is going to require
turnover.
A very drastic, and it's going to have to be an overnight.
Because they're in control, so we can't do it little by little. We have to do it all at one time and slap it down, and doom, we got it. Now we can grow and work from there towards the positive.
We've all got to get together and stomp on Control Alt Delete twice.
Yeah, at the same time though. Exactly. That's a well-regulated militia. People think well-regulated militia, oh, I've been trained in combat. No. Trained in your course of action, well-regulated in the course of action, united in that course of action, that is well-regulated. And the people in the militia today, bless their heart, the ones that have their heart and mind the right thing, they think it means trained to kill. And no, it doesn't. It means well-regulated in the course of action, complete your course of action, and go back home and live your life. Go back to living. Now we have an army that we established to prevent from us getting attacked unexpectedly from a foreign army. That must stay intact. It must stay intact because the world is not with us. If the whole world becomes with us in that, then we can disabolish every army around the world, but not until the world is controlled as a collective to take care of each other.
Right.
Okay. But as long as the elites are still in charge in parts of the world, everybody must have an army to protect against them. And we must not let that and say, oh, that's the standing army the Constitution said no to. Constitution said no to our justice system army on the people. Right. And if you read the original, it was easy to understand. Now they diversed it, they turned it, and they're educating people completely wrong. And look, man, I bless people's hearts, man. I for a long time was read the Constitution, read the Constitution, read the Constitution. I read the Constitution, it was there. And then all of a sudden, I go look at the Constitution a year later. Wait a minute, it's gone. I can't find it nowhere. I'm a year on Facebook with thousands of people that follow me, by the way. Okay, asking them all, get me a copy of the original Constitution. And nobody's been able to do it. They keep saying, is this what you mean? Is this what you mean? I have, for over a year now, I've been begging somebody find it. Get an old book. Pull it out of an old book. If you've got an old book that was written in the 1800s in your cupboard, go look inside of it. That's where you're going to find it. Because we're not, or an old newspaper. But you're not going to find it on the internet because they control all the communication on the internet. That's how I know he's not got the right one. I've already been down it so much. That's not the right one. He pulled it out of the internet. It's not there. They've erased that. They have an algorithm that shot out over everybody's shit and delete, control, alternate, delete on all of it everywhere. It's going to have to be found in an old book. I would love to be able to go to old bookstores and just spend my life looking for one old book somewhere and getting it. And then I would make it public, everybody get my head, and I would get shot in the head for having it. You know, the last copy that was found in a garage sale was bought for a few dollars, was sold for like $2 million, and then it was sold again for $10 million. Okay? Why? Because the government had to get it out of circulation. So that was priceless for the government. They're unlimited amount of money. They when they got, oh my God, you mean it's there? Well, you know what? No matter what it costs, we're going to get it. And that man could have gone to $1 trillion. They would have paid for it. They would have paid that man $1 trillion if he knew what he had and what their plan was that they're erasing it. It's coming out of existence. Now I tell that to people and I think, well, they've signed a book and then they'll sell their countrymen out and say, well, all I gotta do is call my government. They're gonna give me $5 million.
Professor, what I'm saying is this here. Is that while this is a nice plan and all that, we still have the problems of the have-nots. Okay, so when everybody stands and the government is taking over and all of this stuff John is talking about, we still have the problems of the people that don't have things. And that will become your enemy. And don't interrupt me, John.
You said your piece. Now let me explain this.
Yeah, I don't want you explaining nothing. I want you to shut up and let me speak. Let me speak. Let me speak. Let me speak. Why don't you shut your dumb ass up and let me speak?
You just said something.
Shut your dumb ass up. Anyway, we're going to have the have-nots. I'm going to have to talk over dumbass here because he don't never take a hint. We're going to have people.
The IQ is very low. He just parrots me sometimes.
Riots and shit.
He's got a very low IQ. He's not in the conversation.
Broke up and every damn thing. Yeah, just take your punk ass on somewhere. God damn. Anyway, we're going to have people burning up shit, riots galore, listening to Mr. Everybody Stand Up on one fucking day. We have to merge into this smoothly because what he's talking about is just going with the new world fucking order. Everybody's going to fucking die. Soon as there's no government, there's no one in police force that's taking over this shit. The problems of the haves and have-nots have got to be taken care of first. If not, all hell's going to break loose. That's simple.
They are correlated, both sides. Here's the thing. Utopia-esque, more perfect, is a possibility.
It's possible,
but it's going to take it is, but it's going to take us all. The problem is that in the situation that we're in currently, we've got the problem of the have and the have-nots. It's getting everyone to open their eyes and be, awakened to the idea and the notion that it is a possibility, but it's only we're all going to have to work on it together.
Yeah.
Okay. Now my narrative on that, very simple. Like I said from the very beginning, we get rid of all monetary systems. We work at a tribal system where we're providing everybody. So there's no longer a have-not. In the narrative I pointed out, that doesn't exist. Everybody has equally. Everybody has.
How do we get there? How do we?
There you go. I tried not to interrupt, but I can't say a word without being interrupted.
Already interrupted.
Okay, let me say something. This we already talked about. Didn't I describe this and explain this in detail? Didn't you?
No, you did not. That's why I moved on, because you did not explain it in detail. And I'm tired of hearing you talking now. I'd like to hear somebody else.
Okay, now again, if I could do this without being interrupted. It was talked about, it was explained in detail. I'm sorry that Mark could not catch it, okay? But he's heard it, not only here, not tonight.
I hear it out of you 80 times a fucking week. Let someone else speak.
Just for the professor that he's new at this man has been explaining this probably 100 times already. So he's not capable of learning or understanding. He's just capable of saying, but we have this problem, but we have this problem.
Quit insulting. Quit insulting, please.
I'm not insulting. I am educating a man that he just got here.
You can't educate me.
Why I am the way I am.
10 years long.
Young punk. Facts.
You're a young punk. You need your ass
the ability to
You're a young punk. You
but
are
I did shut up for him to speak.
Educating.
You're in need of attention. Stop it. You're in attention. Stop it.
I believe he's speaking of me, boss. I think he's talking about educating me.
No, he was talking about me.
I am educating him. I was talking about the professor. And I was talking to the professor.
And I'm 10 years older than all of you. Now shut up. Damn it. Wisdom does have its advantages. Age has its
Hey, Mark, that's enough, okay?
Professor, hey, Professor, I wrote down your name. I'm going to try to look you out. I'm going to give you my personal phone number. There's probably 5 people right now that have it in the world, okay? I'm going to give it to you because I would love to have a conversation uninterrupted with you because I will learn a lot from you. And I think together, we will accomplish a lot in understanding more of what we need to do and how a better way to implement it and get the word out to the masses, which as long as we're getting interrupted constantly, we're never going to have that conversation on a platform. And now, go ahead, Mark.
Hello. All right, as I was saying, there's only a few little glitches in that. There's got to be
glitches.
There's a few glitches in that plan because, like I say, when this shit shuts down, all hell's going to break loose. And even if we do get so many people to stand up, 1/3 of the population, that's enough. But now we have the overflow of people that don't have. We're going to have just chaos in the street, hatred of people just going ballistic because the services that work, because what John is saying is taking out the police and everybody else at one shot. Mass confusion will ensue. And the military will be called in to exact justice and fair play and whatnot and all that shit, and will be brought back into even a more harsh tyranny than we're already under. So we have to come into this. We have to face it on the terms that we already have set. That's like I say, that's why I'm running the Common Man campaign. No one should be in office that's not a common person. If they can't change a tire, they're disqualified. They can't change a tire on a car, complete disqualification from government. If they don't know how to wash dishes, you're disqualified. Period. You can't use a diaper, you're not qualified. If you don't have calluses on your hand, you're not qualified to run the government because you have nothing common with the people that you're trying to rule over. Go ahead.
I don't have calluses on my hand. That's not fair, Mark.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I
Like
don't have calluses on my
his
hand.
narrative.
That's not
I
very fair,
can't
Mark.
hear you because John is interrupted. Say again, please.
I said I don't have calluses on my hands. That's not fair, Mark.
You know how to wash dishes,
I hate washing dishes.
but you know how.
In Mark's narrative,
Hey,
like I said,
there are very, very good reasons to not have callus on your hands.
Yeah, I'm
of
past
course.
that.
Hey, very good. But anyways, in his narrative, this is under the circumstance that we are going to put somebody to rule. Like he says, a ruler over us.
We shouldn't
We're
have
all enslaved by a
anybody
ruler.
to rule. If it's
As long as
supposed to be like a free, everybody does everything. It
But like he,
shouldn't be one person.
Your signal's bad, hon. You're choppy.
yeah, I'm
You're
trying to
choppy as
listen.
hell.
I can't hear. Really bad. But anyways, you don't get the authority to rule unless you could change the tire. So if you could change the tire, you could rule the world and be the tyrant up top. Wow, that's pretty low standards to be able to control the world and enslave everybody. That's a pretty low bar to follow. And we'll give you the rulership of the world.
Yeah. Now, going along with what Mark was saying, and going along with what you were saying, John, and see, here's the thing. It rolls off on the 20th.
Fix your mic, Chief. Fix your mic.
Sorry, boss. Sorry. Is that better?
No.
Really
Try
low
again.
for some reason.
Yeah, your mic's
I
off.
think it
Good,
keeps
man, it goes
happening to
low.
all of us because mine keeps acting up too. Earlier, I got up here and got back on because I couldn't hear nothing.
All
And my
right.
phone kept cutting out.
Let me try something.
There you go. There you go.
There we good?
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Going along with what both of you are saying, because I'm seeing it and I'm hearing it. Mark, you're right, but you're right for John's scenario. You're right for the 20th if shit kicks off. You're right if it's actually a civil war, and we have to go to a kinetic means of taking over. There's going to be chaos in any reset. It's going to happen. There's going to be those that don't have currently that are not going to have, and they're not going to be able to acquire.
Oh shit!
And they're going to die.
What
There's
happened,
going to,
Sarah?
Oh, nothing. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Now,
there's in every reset process, there's going to be a purging, and I don't mean everybody going out and all
Yeah, do your mic again.
I'm not talking about going into a purge situation, but there's still nothing. Still, is it shit?
it's a little bit.
I
It's
can
very
hear
low.
you, but it kind of sounds like you have like a cup over your microphone.
All right, hold on. Give me just a second. I'm gonna take the damn cover off my phone.
Do you have an earpiece, maybe? An ear mic? It might help.
That was gross. All right, how's that?
There we go.
That's
Okay.
better.
Yeah, I had to take all that shit off. All right.
Outstanding.
That was my protection to my glass phone. There's going to be those that are gonna fall down. It's gonna happen. There's gonna be those that are not strong enough to make it to the end. There's going to be those that cannot get food, that cannot get water. It's going to happen. There's going to be those that just aren't smart enough to figure it the fuck out, and they're going to fall by the wayside. I mean, it's a survival of the fittest scenario, and in order to get to that utopia, it's going to have to go through that process as well, because in order for us to grow, we have to eliminate the weak. Not necessarily by any specific person or group of persons' choice to eliminate the weak, but because the weak are going to fall.
Let me put something out there for you, food for thought. This was my plan. Okay? We take over the country in one day, peacefully, because we have the numbers for them to stand down. We take over the news stations, the radio stations, and all the way of getting information to people and let them know, okay, now everything is free. Go do your part for the collective. Go to work, whatever you were doing, that you had an honorable job providing for the people. People are going to be coming. You're going to be coming to train them. You're going to have a mass influx of workers coming to you from the industry that was extorting you, and train them. Everybody keep providing. Nobody has to starve. Those that are homeless, we've got plenty of homes already. Just contact somebody. You'll be given the keys to get in a home. Those that need food, just go to the grocery store, get what you need. Do not hoard, because it will always stay stocked, because our food industry is now 10 times stronger than it was yesterday. And those stores are going to stay stocked. Don't take things home. Let them spoil. Try to not waste. Now, in one day, we implement that. Let everybody know. Don't panic. Everything is there for you. You're not losing nothing. You're gaining everything. We don't have to have the chaos, because we got an information system that when we take control, we also take control of that. And once we take control of that and tell everybody, hey, the food is there, nobody's starved. If you're hungry, go walk into a store, get what you need. There's no payment for it. The store clerks are going to understand they're stocking. They're not charging you going out the store. They're going to be stocking the shelf. The people that deliver, they're going to be delivering. We're not going to eat more food all of a sudden, okay? So we already got the infrastructure there. Now we're going to have a lot more people adding to that infrastructure. So we're going to be providing a lot more. And we're going to be providing more healthier, okay? And just don't go get freaked out and grab stuff, stick it in your house to spoil, because you're taking it out of someone else's mouth, you know? Don't freak out, because it's going to be there tomorrow. It'll always be there, because now we are in control. And we don't have to have a massive reset with all the evils that you're afraid of. Once we're in control, we can control not having that happen. We're going to have that happen when the market crashes, when the stock market crashes, with this government in control, all this homelessness, all these people living in poverty will stop on the day we take control. Okay? Now, all you ask of the people, please be a responsible adult. Go do your part. Give us at least 10 hours of work towards producing so that you will continue the rest of your life and your children receiving this lifestyle. That's all we ask of you. Please do your part. There's going to be a few that say, well, I'm not going to work at all. They're not going to stop us from prospering as a nation. They're not going to take us down.
Sorry to interrupt you, John. Those people already decide that they don't want to work at all.
You're breaking
up. Not all of them. I understand that some people, don't have a choice and try to find work and stuff like that. But then there's people that I've actually met that are homeless that I choose to be this way.
Okay, can I finish?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not going to be a matter I can't find work, because you know what? You're not going to get turned down from doing something prosperous for the people. If they got 10 people doing a job to where everybody's working to keep it running all the time, 10 hours a week, and another person comes in, okay, now I only have to work 9 hours a week. You're not going to be turned down from the job. Nobody's going to get turned down. It's not a I can't work. And those that don't want to be homeless, that's crazy, because in a better world now, it's like, oh, you need to tell me I don't have to be a part of this evil system. I don't have to be extorted. Oh, of course I don't want to live on the streets. They're going to want a home. Stop thinking of what we have today as this is what it is. So if we do that, we're going to have this, because all this will disappear and we'll have that. Okay? And once we have that, these things that are the problems today are the problems of the past, no longer the problems of today, once we take control only. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah. I get that. I absolutely understand that. And here's the...
So my point is now just to cap my point.
Yeah.
We don't have to have an ugly reset. We can have a pretty reset. We can have a reset that everybody is taken care of on the reset. Nobody is going to be the lesser left behind.
We can. We absolutely can.
Okay.
Absolutely. I agree. The ideal is there. There's absolutely. I agree with that. The issue lies in the reality of the current situation, and I explain it thusly. Yeah, the starving dogs. Okay, starving dogs will gorge themselves because they've been starved, and they think that because they have food in front of them now, they have a plethora, they have more than they can eat. They have a 50 fucking pound bag of food sitting in front of them. They've got food. They don't have to worry about food, but they're going to overeat because they don't know if that food's going to be there tomorrow. Okay. And it's getting past that
right. But we're going to have to get past that, but that's a small thing, because most people don't want to gain the weight anyways. You know what I mean? And we'll be on the TV. We'll be on every radio station, re-educating the people and letting them know, don't freak out. This is the new world, man. This is where we, the people, are no longer slaves. Now we are all free people. Do no harm, one law, and everybody is a police officer. If you see somebody trying to abuse or hurt another human being, everybody around intervenes. Stop that. Arrest that individual. And we do now this is where the Constitution is great. We keep this part. Public trial. We have technology. Anybody goes on trial, public on the TV. None of this, well, we have to do this in chambers. We have to do this part in secrecy. Everything must be public. Anything that enters that trial, and the jury makes the decision, not a magistrate. Magistrates do not exist anymore. A judge is just to make sure order in the court when it gets out of control. He can have order in the court. That's all his authority is. He does not make any rulings. He does not make any decisions. The party that is defending themselves speaks freely, states his case. The one that is accusing him speaks freely, states his case. The jury and the people of the world watching to make sure it is just and fair, not, well, we got a technicality here in this law. No, those laws are all out the window. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. Let the people see that we are running a fair society and the right way. Open, no secrecy. We have the technology now, man. We could have a billion channels on the TV if we wanted to. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's nothing we can't watch and and be vigilant over.
I absolutely get it. I do. I see it. I've visualized that myself. I agree that can work. It can. It's getting there. And it's getting everybody to agree to work together. And it's going to be getting past all of the well-oiled machine indoctrination and the education that we've got, that we have to look out for ourselves first. Now, granted,
that idealism that I have to, for me. But that's why we need a collective of people to stand up and implement this. And once it's implemented, we say this is what it's going to be. Nobody's going to fight against it because everybody's going to have everything they ever wanted. Even the ones that say, but I worked so hard for what I had. Wait a minute. Now I get everything else that I was hoping I would get in 10 years? Oh, okay. No, I get this now. What do I care what they got? I got what I want. Not the trying to keep up with the Joneses, what I want. Because you don't have to keep up with them because you don't want the garbage. You don't want it. You know, you'll live for what you want instead of trying to look good and keep up with the Joneses, because you can have anything anybody wants. It would change so much the mentality of the human race. And I believe this is necessary for the survival of the human race, for us to evolve. We must implement this, or we are going to destroy ourselves, as you can see is happening today. Go ahead, man. I won't interrupt again.
No, we're good. I can see it from both sides.
I like listening to you, man, but you know, I've talked about this so much in every single detail of everything. And people will come on here and say, you don't have a plan. You don't have a plan. But as you can see, if you bring me a question, I have a plan behind everything. My mind is working at 100%. I don't care if they stick me in a concentration camp. I don't care if they put me in Guantanamo Bay. But if they go to inject me with their vaccines and kill my brain, they'll have to kill me first. I don't care. They can't hurt me. I'm not the one I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for everybody else. My life is over. My dreams are gone. I can't make them happen in this lifetime. But I want everybody else to have what I wasn't able to have because of the system. Okay, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, we're good. We're good. It's fucking 3:35 and my brain's fried. I've got a lot of information to process. Shit.
Well, this starts every night at 10 p.m., man. But now, earlier on, I actually had control of that algorithm for a little while, and I kicked off the ones that don't let the conversation go anywhere. And literally, it would have gone all that Medelicon stuff till 4 o'clock in the morning, nonstop. We wouldn't have had any conversation. I literally bumped them out of here permanently during this meeting. They'll be back tomorrow night. And if I have control, I'll do it again, because it's the only way to make progress. I almost bumped Mark Johnson off, but I looked and they took control away from me when they bumped me off. And I had to come back on my other device, you know? But because the interference is not needed. We don't need you can't because of this, you can't. Okay, if you think that's a problem, how can we? And pay attention, because most of the problems you have, we've already talked here tonight, even tonight already. And it's like you're coming up like, well, we can't because of, but didn't you listen? Weren't you listening at all? And okay, I'm preaching right now. I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, John, you're preaching.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're preaching, John, when you're just not going to tell the truth that all these grand ideas you got from me, plagiarize someone else's shit. Stop.
Wow, did you hear him say that?
You too, stop it.
You got from me.
You are my grandmaster poobah.
From
got
me.
all my ideas from you. You're so smart. I wouldn't know nothing about
Learn
you.
from me, John.
I learned everything from you.
My videos speak for themselves. My videos.
Look, honestly, Mark.
Anyway, I'm running the Common Man campaign just in case this other shit goes to the dogs. So I'll be in there to get a line of government bodies going together to start supplying energy, free energy, and etc. All free energy, free food, free supplies all over the country, and breaking down this damn educational system. That's why I'm running now. If I can get those 4 major things set up with the powers of the offices already there, then I can go from there. If November 2nd comes first, that's a beautiful thing. I support it wholeheartedly, but I'm not going to sit there and put all my eggs in one basket. That's what old folks learn that. You don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. Strategize.
You're attacking from all sides that you can attack.
Want them to kind of lead them in the wrong direction on trying to defend themselves against.
Is that a nurse's smock you're wearing? Are you a nurse?
I'm wearing my shirt.
Oh, okay. The way you had it up, it looked like a nurse's smock. Well, it looked like you had it like the heart on the inside. When you was doing your hair, that looked like it was a t-shirt inside and it was a nurse's smock on the outside.
It's the way I'm sitting. It keeps riding up. It keeps going up here.
Yeah. I thought you was a nurse for a bit. I'm like, hey, works for me. Okay.
Rihanna, I'm sorry about last night. You know, I went into things I don't go into because it's very emotional for me. And then I was totally interrupted in doing it, and which made me more emotional. And that's why I try to tell people not to do it to you, because I know what it's doing to you. I've been 16 years into this. You are 2 years into it. Okay? I know what is happening to you, and I'm trying to protect you from it. And I'm sorry it wasn't received the way it was meant. Okay?
Yeah, it kind of upset me. I know you didn't mean it in a bad way. I can understand the being upset part, you know. We're all dealing with, a lot of us kind of deal with stuff in different parts of aspects of what we're going through. But, you know, what kind of upset me was the fact that you're yelling at somebody, telling them they don't understand what you're going through, what I've gone through, you know.
Yeah.
And just, to me, it was being ugly, you know.
You notice he didn't listen to a word. I was explaining. I had to tell my story for him to understand. You know, he accused me of knowing nothing about law. I didn't dispute him. He accused me of never having to deal with the legal system. I didn't dispute him. Okay? I know more about law than lawyers and everybody up there, and I've dealt with it more. But when he told you, this is what got me, and he did say it, you can go back to the recording. He said,
well, I don't know how to do that, Sarah. It was being recorded. You know, I don't know how to check the recordings.
Well, I know, but this is the words he used to you. Okay? Oh, I can get your kids back right away. That's easy. And it was like he's making you a promise. Now follow my instructions. And he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know that system. So I was going to tell my story so he would understand my system, but he refused to listen to anything of somebody that's been through it and actually know why he doesn't know, what he doesn't know. I was trying to tell him. And in doing that, I have to tell my precise story, which is extremely traumatizing for me to go through remembering and talking about. It is so traumatizing. That's why I tell people, why are you traumatizing this woman by having her tell the story over and over and over again? She's stuck in a loop. It took me 15 years to come out of that loop that you're in. I'm so happy I finally got out of it, but I hate to see you in it. And by doing that, that's all they're doing.
To be honest, you know, I understand it took you 15 years, but women are way different than men.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely a fact. What may take you 15 years, you know, my husband still isn't dealing with it. You know, he's one of those people that just shoves it down and, you know, doesn't try to forget, just wants that emotional part left out. But me, it doesn't matter if somebody's bringing it into my head or I'm doing it myself. It constantly, even when I go to sleep, it's there. My mind's always running on the same thing.
I know. I mean,
that's
you know, you don't
the only way I would ever get out of it is when my kids are in my arms. That's
not true.
Period.
Not true. Hey, trust me, it's not true. There is a way to get a little bit past it, be able to deal with it better. And it took me 15 years to do that. Okay?
And actually what it took was my son coming back into my life. Okay? Is what it took. That's what really got me out of the loop that you're stuck in right now. You don't even realize it. I'm trying to tell you, you're stuck in a loop.
But you're telling her how she feels. You can't do that. You're telling her how you dealt with it is one thing, but we do deal with things differently than guys do. We do. But you're not telling you that.
Hey, did you get in touch with Roby?
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say.
Did you get in touch with Steve?
I actually learned that from a therapist lady that, I can't say women and men don't cheat, but men don't have that emotional thing with a woman that a woman would have to have with a man. Like with some women, can't say that they don't cheat, but some women have to have that emotional
connection.
bond.
Connection, yeah.
Yeah. For them, things got to be a little bit more emotional where men can just like, it ain't about you, it's about me. I'm going to get my rocks off. Who gives a fuck?
There's women like that too, though. There are women like that.
I've never understood that, but, I've gone with my dealings on being cheated on. I can't say that I haven't cheated, but, it's just different with men. Women and men are two different people.
We are. That is true.
Hey, did you get in touch with Steve Roby?
Yeah, I've actually, I kind of talked to him a little bit.
Good.
Not about much. We've kind of mostly touch and go.
He's the big man on the totem pole. You'll like him. Like I say, he's traveled from Wisconsin to come get me to go.
Well, I'm one of those people that likes everybody.
Me too.
My husband, he's not. I think he would like, there's a couple people on this show, Barry and Josh, definitely the beard thing. You guys are both mostly quiet unless you talk, when you talk, you actually talk with understanding and stuff like that. I think my husband would really get along better with you guys than some of us on here. He definitely would talk about the beard.
I grew it myself.
Yes, you did. Nobody helped you.
Oh, I told my wife I was going to be right back at 9:45.
Good thing she knows you well, huh?
Right. So I think I'm gonna bail out. It was an absolute pleasure talking with all of you.
Yes, it was.
The argument, every last bit of it.
Well, come back.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Come back.
I will. I plan on it. And I think I asked this last night. Or not last night, but last time. How often is this going on?
Every night at 10.
Literally every night. You can just make a choice to join. I'm sitting here talking like it's my show. Sorry, Sarah.
No, you're fine. You're good. It's all of our show. It's not just mine. It's all of ours. That's why I keep handing
I'm trying to invite a couple of other people. I was telling Sarah we need some more women in here because to me this feels like a huge sausage fest.
I hand off the hostess thing to everybody lately just because it's everybody's show.
Well, it's again, it was a pleasure. I look forward to seeing and speaking with all of you again, and I've got a lot of stuff to look into and research and educate on, and hopefully you guys will research flat Earth because space is fake.
You're serious, you know that, don't you?
I'm dead fucking serious. I mean, you cannot have a pressurized atmosphere bordering a vacuum without a gas container barrier.
Okay, you know what?
We don't care. We don't.
Hey, Professor, do me a favor if you would.
Please.
Try to.
He'll be back.
Would you just wait a minute? Wait.
John, hold on. Let him talk.
Professor,
Stop.
if you would, since you're going to sign off tonight, if you would check in to see how a position can be moved to get another article of like a branch of the government to do like government work. like to implement plans of creating energy for free, like taking over power plants, stuff like that, or how that would be done. Okay.
Can I now, on the flat
Yes,
earth,
go ahead.
how we have this environment and how we have what we have here today? Think about this, okay? A race of beings from another place came and saw this planet and said, okay, we can work with that one right there. They came in, they went through the two ends, the two polars of the earth, told the earth to start rotating the way. Please, if I keep getting interrupted, I'm not saying a word. Okay. Now, that this race came to this planet, okay, decided, now they put in a power plant and a system that creates this atmosphere that separates us, protects us from outer space. So all that ionosphere coming from the North Pole and South Pole that is protecting the planet from outer space is all artificial. And now they seeded the planet with making the insects, making the people, making the animals, making the this to create what we have today. And they did this intentionally to this planet because it's positioned. So now, if this is around Earth, like all the other planets out there that I could see, you know, this is what I've come up with. When I look at the flat Earth theory, there's a lot of things in there that are like, okay, yeah. But now I know about the Middle Earth. I know about the race that's so far advanced beyond us, we can't touch them. And and I know that the moon was brought here, was built and put there. Okay, it's not. It's too what it is. It wasn't what they say. So everything here was engineered, and not in 7 days by a god, one god. You have to now look beyond that and understand technology of a race, so technology advanced, you know, and look at that theory. And then it's like, oh, okay, that kills the flat earth theory. It's half the things that they talk about, that kills it. When you start looking at that. Just food for thought, more food for thought for you,
I don't know
brother.
how true this is, but there's actual deals where they talk about tribes and stuff, where they talk about aliens too, like way before now.
Every ancient tribe talks about aliens.
Anunnaki. Barry gave you a whole lesson about them the other night.
I'm going to I'm going to find it again. I don't know if it's in my notes or if it's in my bookmarks or whatnot. But there's a link. I forget the dude's name. I'm going to bring it. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. I'll probably send it to I'll send it to all of you. The link once I find it. But it's got some interesting material. How the aliens aren't necessarily aliens. It's,
exactly true.
They
been here longer than us. They've been here longer than we have.
Yeah, absolutely. Many thousands of years longer than we have.
That goes with the Bible. We're created in His image. They use their DNA mixed with other DNA to create us.
Yep.
Yeah. What is it? The sun gods breeding the dog man. It's where the giant. What's that?
You're losing reception here. You're like a guitar.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably my signal. On that note, I'm going to dip out. I'm going to find that.
You sound great now.
Good night. Good night.
We continue.
It's because I'm not holding my tongue right.
We're continuing them all night, man.
Good night, John.
Right.
Have a good night.
Good night. Stay well. Be safe. Good luck.
Yep.
Good night, Professor. Good night,
I'm
Mary
going shopping.
Good night, Ginger. Good night, John Boy. Good night.
All right, guys.
I'm going shopping. I need food.
Oh.
What's it?
You know what I'd like to talk about? If you all want to.
I don't know what do we want to talk about, but whoever this person is that's not saying anything.
Let them be a fly on the wall.
I know your number's from Oklahoma, but I haven't heard anything from this person.
But it's all right. If they will, they'll be a fly on the wall. They respect that. That's the best thing to be. You're learning. and they might have fallen asleep. It's late. They might have just fallen asleep with it on.
Maybe, but they're on this. They've been on this group for the past 3 nights, and I haven't heard anything from them.
Okay, they're a
But
fly on
I
the
am
wall.
from Oklahoma, so it'd kind of be nice that if they are on, at least say something.
A watcher learning does not open his mouth. He just keeps learning and listening. You know,
I think
you
he's
gotta
probably
respect
kind of
what he's
learned that
doing.
we're all a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah, no shit.
We're not all crazy. We're all who we are. And I want to talk on a subject here. I want to talk about my mentor, how he has taught me everything, and I got everything from him.
No, we're not going
How
there.
about that? I just want to hear
we're not
about it.
going there. We're not going there. It's just dumb.
I just thought I'd bring up a subject, something to do.
Hey, Sarah, how you been, hon?
I'm good. I'm going to go shopping here in a little bit.
Callie told me to
Dude,
tell
what are
you
you
hello.
getting me? I want some chocolate candy.
Okay. What did Callie tell you to tell you? Tell me?
Told me to tell you hello. She went back home today. That was a hell of a 6-hour drive. I made it back in one piece.
How many cats did you take with her?
She took 2, and she's got 3 in the car and a dog on another 6-hour ride back to Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
And
3 cats and a dog? All right.
Yeah, 3 cats, a big dog, 2 dogs, 2 kids, and the other lady that's with her, and the rest of her clothing.
All right.
So now I have my house back finally. But we do what we do.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you guys on your face.
We're good. I guess I could put you guys on my phone and just take you with me, huh?
Hey,
That'd be a great idea.
You guys want to go shopping with me?
Yeah, but we got crushed for the first couple nights. I can't even remember what night she got here, but we got crushed.
You're drunk. I seen you a few times.
I needed that. I kid you not. The pressure
Ow.
mounts up and it gets rough. Got a lot to do.
Ow.
Oh, what? You in pain? Ooh, what?
A little bit.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing really. I have sciatica in my lower back, and I've been working out and trying to stretch my lower back and doing exercises. And shit.
You want to fix your sciatic nerve? Totally know how to fix it. Oh, fuck it, I'll tell you. Go find a corner. Go find a corner right now. A corner, like the corner of a cupboard, a desk, a table, a corner. A sharp poke. And it's about your butt high. It's gotta be about, because you're gonna stick your butt in it, because that's where it is. Here, let me come on the camera, hang on.
That sounds like really weird.
No, I know, it is really weird.
It's kind of weird.
No, sciatic
Give me
nerve.
1 second and let me go use the restroom before I do this.
Okay.
No. Do it in the butt, baby. Work it. Do it in the butt.
No, honestly though, you guys, your butt causes a lot of problems in your body.
No, it's good. I just thought of a song when you said that. I thought I had it in
No, I'm just telling you, it does. Because I do a lot of work on glutes. It's a huge problem for a lot of people. She's gonna have to bend now. Bend the butt. It's a pair of force. I'm gonna have to show you guys my tights though.
Looks like she's got the exercise ball right there.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
I popped mine with an ash accidentally. I was so bummed. I love my exercise ball. I love that thing fucking immensely. I'd have it right now if I had one. But I popped it with a fucking cigarette cherry.
Oh, bummer.
I know, fucking bummed. So I get for smoking.
When you did it, did you?
Okay, so before we get too far, when you say a corner, are you talking like a corner of a counter or like a corner of like a door or something?
Corner of a counter, because it needs to be about butt high. Because what you're gonna do here, let me turn my camera on here.
I'm not sure it'll really work because I'm a little short and I'm not sure if my butt's really gonna match with my counter.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, the counter is like
too high?
Just barely below my middle of my back.
Okay, yeah, that's too tall then. Okay.
This is my counter.
All right, let me show you my butt here. So, here's your butt, right? Right about, let me see how I can do this for you. Right about in here. Just press really hard. I think mine not activated. Right about here.
Ooh, all we need is music now.
Yeah. Okay. You feel it hurting? Does it hurt on the side that?
It hurts on my right side.
Push
Or
on your right
not
side.
my right side, my left side.
Push on your left side. Right about that area, right here. Okay. What you need to do is you need to find a corner. That's why. That's a table corner. How?
Everything's like too tall for me.
You got a step stool?
Do I got a what?
A
No, I
step-
don't.
All right.
No.
Let's see. Do you got a ball? That don't work.
Hold on, I got a coffee table with the corner. I'd
There
have to
you
bend
go.
down. Okay, now what?
Okay, where about that spot where it hurts, put your butt into it, so that the corner's going into that spot, so it hurts. You want it to hurt a little bit, right there. Okay, now hold it. Breathe and hold it.
Well, Sarah, you're looking extremely like exotic tonight. Wow.
Thank you. You're not gonna laugh. That's okay. You can laugh. Now do it again. Keep do it. There's 3 of them in that spot, and they'll hurt like hell when you got the corner on it, right? Does it hurt when you push the corner on it?
I feel it digging into my ass. That's all I feel. It hurts.
You put the corner in the wrong place. The corner's hitting the wrong spot.
When you hit the trigger point, you'll know that you're on the trigger point because it hurts. So just keep moving your ass around your corner there and see if you can find it.
Take
So you're
that
looking-
booty, move it around, take it around, move that booty.
You're looking no. Okay, if it's a sciatic,
I've been there. I've been able to like relieve pressure on it. I'll feel it pop, but it doesn't. Ow.
okay, if it's sciatic nerve, it's going down your legs, right?
Yeah, just the one leg. I can feel it, but it kind of feels numb. And like when I do my stretches and shit, I swear it feels like it's gonna fucking snap.
Okay.
But I've been doing it so I can do that stuff.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to look up where your piriformis is in your ass. Okay, go find it. Go on the internet. Find yourself a graph of the muscle, human muscles. Piriformis is PARFIF or something. Yeah.
Hold on.
It's in your butt. I want you to look for it. It's a pear. It looks like a pear. There's going to have 3 trigger points in that. It's a little muscle. It's a really little muscle between your gluteus maximum and your gluteus medius. That is what you want to do. You want to get on the trigger points.
I told you to turn around.
Whatever you need to do to get pressure on the trigger points, you need to do that, and then you hold it.
It looks like a pear.
It looks like a pear. Yep. That the whole thing is
That's
right
my
there.
butt.
Yes. Right. Look at your piriformis. It's right there. Oh, my fingers. You can't even tell my fingers. But yep.
Right there, in the middle of my butt cheek.
Yep. That's where you want to put this corner into. In there. Because
And like this is where it feels like it hurts, like right in here.
But here, listen to me, honey. Then it could be your lower back. That would be gluteus medius. Right there, your gluteus medius. I keep pointing at my TV. I keep touching it. It's like, can you see me? Your gluteus medius would give you pain right there. Okay, here's the thing about pain. Yep. Here's the thing about pain is that 90 or 85% of the pain that we feel is not where it comes from. It comes from somewhere else. It's only the messenger. The pain, where the pain is at, is a messenger. So that's part of my job is to figure out where people's pain is and shit.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel no pain in here. I feel a numbness here, but where the pain is like in here.
Yeah.
And earlier I got it to I was playing with my blue ball.
Yep. Blue ball.
I didn't know
I get
women
on here
had
like
blue balls.
this.
Could get blue balls.
You know, it feels really nice.
was
I
a
get
man
on it,
thing, blue
and
ball.
it'd probably help if I turn you guys around.
Well, I thought blue
I get
balls
on
was
it,
a
I
man
go like
thing.
this, you know, and then like there's times where I can go like this.
Okay, think about this.
I can feel my lower back pop.
Yeah.
It's like getting a lot better because before I couldn't even bend over at all without feeling like I was gonna collapse. And there was times where when that hurt, my knees would buckle,
they'll do it.
So
I
this
get heartburn really
exercise
bad.
stuff is actually working.
I get heartburn really bad when I exercise. That's why I don't exercise.
It kind of hurts when I sit in certain spots, but like this, I started doing this, and this is all kinds of different yoga poses and strength and balance and length, and then like down here where it's like your back.
Yep. I do yoga. I do Thai massages.
I'm actually able to do that now.
Nice.
This is the camel the camel thing where you can bend backwards. I
You
can do
get
this now.
You get a
I'm
Metallica.
gonna get better at doing this.
You get a Metallica taste in your mouth when you do that. Like a Metallica taste in your mouth. Like when you're doing your yoga, do you get that like a nasty taste in your mouth? Well, it's not nasty, but it's like kind of Metallica taste.
I don't know.
Pennies.
I'm not getting nasty taste in my mouth when I wake up and morning breath tastes.
Oh yeah, that doesn't count. When you're doing yoga though, if you're doing it right, you'll get a Metallica taste in your mouth. It means you're fucking. That's one of the signs to tell you that you're doing it right. It's ridding yourself of toxins. I hated it. I mean, yoga. I went to yoga and it sucked. I hated it, but I did it. But I didn't have a choice. But I want to tell you about piriformis. Piriformis sits right on top of the sciatic nerve, right on top of it. That's why that's a culprit. So if it gets any worse, you're gonna have to release some trigger points. So just remember that. Oh, she froze up on me.
Hey, let's see that outfit, Sarah.
What the hell?
Yep. Oh, she's back. Oh, now I can't see it. Where you at, Sarah?
I'm right here.
Yeah.
I got it. Where's my belt?
So what's the occasion? Where'd you go tonight?
Nowhere. I'm leaving right now here in a little bit.
Well, where are you going?
I'm shopping.
Oh, you're going shopping?
Yeah, I'm gonna go give my money to fucking Walmart because I love it.
Oh, that's why you all dress.
No, I just get it. This is what I wear. This is just shit I wear.
Oh, okay.
This is my everyday clothes.
You look good. Looking good.
Well, thank you.
If they happen to legalize marijuana, buy me a joint.
I have to legalize marijuana here.
I just thought I'd add something to the menu, and that's the only thing I could think of I need in the world.
Buy a joint.
So yeah, you were taking a list, and that's the only thing I could think of that I need and I don't have.
In Mississippi, there has everybody smokes pot down there, or what?
Look, this is not America anymore. The American people have destroyed it. I mean, this is corporate destruction of what America was supposed to be. And I tried to talk about that. What the Cubans are doing in Miami, they're keeping, American pride alive in the Cuban community down there. They take care of each other. They go to the Cuban stores. They go to the Cuban restaurants. They go to support their neighbors. They support their what do you call that? Your little area, your local. You support your local economy. That's what they do. Over here, they have turned into support the corporate economy, and the place is horrible to be. It's not America. I'm out of America. I left America, man. Mississippi, there's no America here. I'm in a foreign country controlled by corporations and the big brother, and they control it all. It's crazy. It's a good thing I like cooking, because I wouldn't be able to eat if I didn't know how to cook. Because these restaurants, I could not live off of that. I'm not a little kid that could possibly live off of that crap. I would feel so bad. I would be sick. I would be dying, So it is what it is. I'm stuck here for now, kind of, until we do something to change the world.
I just told Josh. I told him to tell his wife thank you for letting us have him for a few hours. He just sent me a thing that was
happy to have some peace herself,
Yeah.
She doesn't have her own time too.
Well, no, I just wanted him to tell her thank you, that we appreciate him being here and that we appreciate her letting him be here.
I really enjoy conversation with him.
Mm-hmm. He's really, you didn't have to fucking use me tonight, though.
I didn't. Look, I did not mean to bring you. I didn't use your name, by the way.
It didn't matter. Fucking, they knew what you were talking about because fucking.
Out. And I had to answer. He kept harping on it. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Because he had just come out of a secret meeting.
It wasn't a secret meeting.
Are you referring to me? But I was referring in general. But yes, that brought up the conversation in my head about it. It had some influence on why I brought up the narrative, but I didn't want it. But he kept harping. You notice I tried to avoid, and then I just had to come out and say it because you know what? You're not going to stop until I say this, are you? So I said it. So he would stop. And I didn't say, ooh.
Well,
when you came out, you told everybody, hey, that's me over here, Sarah.
course I'm gonna, because he knows it's me. He already knew because he's the one that had me set it up.
I know. And look, I didn't mean to put you out there like that, but then again, it goes back to no secrecy, and we're doing good as a collective. For us, now, I don't want to put nobody out there at the same time. I'll put myself out there. I go out and I do these live feeds. Let's unite, let's organize, take control of our nation. I put myself out there. You know, that's me that's in danger. I'm the one they're going to come and put a bullet in the head of, because I'm the one that's organizing a revolt that will actually take them out of power. You know,
well,
and
you're
they
not
know
the only one.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Doing it.
Yeah, but I'm the one that I'm the one. I'm the one that's not saying. I'm the one that's saying, let's not give the power to the government to take the power from the government. Pay attention, because they are controlling 99% of all their resistance, and I'm the one exposing
this is
that.
encrypt, don't ya? It's just you don't. These meetings are encrypt. They're not that easy to get into. So as much, although fuck, we're still on YouTube, you guys. Shit.
All right. Oh yeah. Well, you know.
It's okay. Don't bother me none.
Yeah.
Me neither, but